And hello, welcome to solo playthroughs. We are doing a live playthrough, a little earlier than normal. I'm looking at my phone because I realized I forgot to turn off my air conditioner. So that annoying sound will go away in about 5 minutes. My air conditioner system, for some reason, likes to take its time in turning off. But you know, that's fine. We shall overcome. Look, we are. I'm excited about this one. Shades of Tezla was an expansion that I put off messing with for a long time. Not really sure why. There was a lot of extra components, and just never really got around to learning it. And last month, I think in the crushing defeat that I had as Arethia in that 9/11 conquest, I decided let me switch it up a little bit, and I'm very glad I did. I think Tezla is a much better expansion than I would have predicted, judging from the quality of the components. To be honest with you, and it's just a nice change of pace for this game, and I think it's really helped me as I think about this game. It's helped make me more well-rounded as a Mage Knight player, and it took me a while to figure it out. I was getting crushed the first half dozen times I played through the life or death scenario, which is what we're doing today, life and death solo, and now I'm pretty regularly beating this scenario on the recommended starting level of 6, and maybe in the future we can. Yeah, no, there's a different kind of challenge. What's up, Jonathan? Thanks for joining, man. You know, in the future streams, maybe we can up the difficulty level here. But I do want to go through all 4 of the scenarios, the solo scenarios that come with the Shades of Tezla expansion. So we'll get right into setup. I try to get the terrain out of here because we'll get some more room. So in the Shades of Tezla expansion, in the life and death solo, we are going to have both the red city and the green city have to be in the terrain deck. And when they come out, the green city actually will become the Hidden Valley, which is the home of the Elementalist faction leader, and the red city will actually become Necropolis, which is the home of the Dark Crusader faction leader, right? So they'll both be in the terrain deck. Additionally, there will be one other city. Now, this is not a city we will ever have to conquer. This city is solely a friendly city, so we'll put a shield on it. So we will get the benefits of having a shield on the city. So the +1 card draw, if we're in it or adjacent. It could be a place that we can recruit some units, like city units, or in the white city, any unit. So there could be a lot of benefits to that 3rd city tile in the terrain deck. So I'm just going to randomize one of these 2. I'm going to roll. I rolled a nothing. I rolled a 1. That's a 1 on this die. So I'm going to take this one, add that to the terrain deck. That comes out of play. And then we are going to need 2 of the other remaining 6 core tiles. Again, these are the core non-city tiles. We'll get 2 of these, and I will throw them across the table and reshuffle them one more time, and we'll just take out 2. I rolled a 4 and a 2. Now, the placement of the city tiles in this bottom stack of 5 is obviously really important, so just to make sure, we'll fully randomize it again. That's a 1. I rolled a 4. The 5 is going to be the 3rd one, and a 2 is going to be the first one. So these are the 5 terrain on the bottom of the deck. And now on top of that, we need to add our countryside tiles. Now the countryside tiles, we are going to do something a little bit more unique in the setup, as prescribed by the rules of life and death. We're going to go through these 6 countryside tiles that have magical glades, and we're going to take 3 of them.
Thomas has a question.
Yes, you are. Thomas, I'll go through the normal housekeeping speech in like 2 seconds. Reminded me I should have done that. Cool. So yeah, I'm going to take 3 of these out. I'm not going to worry about randomizing them too much. They're not as varied as the core tiles are. And then we're going to take 3 countryside tiles that don't have a magical glade, and we're going to put them out. We're going to add them to the terrain deck, I should say, and we're going to do that. So now we have 6 countryside tiles, and then I'm just going to mix these up real good. And again, I'm not going to worry about rolling a die that much with these 6. So thanks for prodding Thomas. Yes. So my wife is amazing, and she is generous in monitoring the chat during my live playthrough. So if this is the first time joining us, she does an amazing job. Be very nice to her. That would be super appreciated. Appreciated is the word I was going for there. And I'm going to put the terrain deck off the screen to the left. Again, I keep my camera super low now with Mage Knight. I'm going to remove tiles as I go. And that way I get the camera as close to the action as possible. It really helps with focus and a lot of other issues I was having in my earlier videos. So yeah, my wife's monitoring the chat. We are on a 25-second delay. So what you see on the screen happened 25 seconds in the past, roughly, give or take a few seconds. It's never been an issue. Just understand that, you might be saying something, and by the time I see it, I've already kind of corrected it, so there's just going to be some things like that we're going to deal with. Additionally, this is the first time on one of my live playthroughs that you will have the option. There's super chat and super stickers. If you're not used to that, I don't know what the heck they were either. I didn't know what they were until a week ago myself. So if someone wants to support the channel, it's just another option for you to support the channel beyond watching, comments, likes, Patreon. It's just available to viewers. So definitely no pressure. If someone feels like they want to contribute, that would be super awesome. And then I would see that in real time during this live playthrough. So I think that's my normal upkeep, my normal housekeeping. I don't think I'm forgetting anything, right? All right, let's go forward with the rest of the setup. So I have the spells up in the top right corner, so I'm going to shuffle that, and we'll get these on the board along the right side of the screen. So my initial spell offer is going to be Burning Shield, like that one. Mist Form can be hugely helpful, and Cure. I don't like Cure that much, but I really do like the Night effect. If you can get the green and the black mana together and get Disease, all enemies blocked have their armor reduced to 1.
Will it be
That's
normal
pretty
difficulty?
sick. Yeah, I'm gonna play on the level 6. That the faction leaders will have level 6. Yeah, so I'm not gonna bump this one up. I feel like I probably could based on my most recent playthroughs of this scenario, but I think first time getting Tezla on the channel, this is a decent challenge, and the terrain can really mess you up. So I think I'm just going to go with level 6 for both of the faction leaders. All right, now we have the advanced action offer. We have maximal effect. We have steady tempo, and we have refreshing walk. Next to that, we have our artifact deck. I'm going to shuffle this up. So yeah, so the factions, the way they come out, there are 2 factions. We have the Dark Crusaders and we have the Elementalist. The factions come with their own faction tokens. Now you use the faction tokens, number 1, when you're fighting against the faction leader. It's like kind of their legion. Then you also will use them. Any marauding enemy that will come out will be either from the Dark Crusader faction or the Elementalist faction, depending on where it is on the board, and we'll see that play out. So additionally, on top of the 16 faction tokens that we have for the enemies, there are also 10 tokens that are like rewards that you can choose to not use these. I really like them. I think they add a lot of variability to this scenario. So I'm going to take these 10 little rewards that I'll get for defeating any enemy from that faction, and I'm going to shuffle these up. We'll make a pile. And that'll be that. Now, this big blue disc does represent the faction leader, very similar to Volkaire. There's a lot more going on with this disc, but we'll explain that. And then on top of that, we have the Hidden Valley, which will go on the Green City when that is revealed. So we will talk more about the faction leaders later. For now, I'm going to shuffle these 16 tokens and then make the 3 piles that we need. So we have the Elementalist Marauding Orcs, we have the Elementalist enemies, and then the Elementalist Draconum. All right, I'm going to do the same thing for the Dark Crusader faction. So they also have 10 tokens. The enemies are very different among the factions in a very cool way. You also have in this expansion, you have this Shield is a new defensive ability. You have Vampiric is a new defensive ability. And then is there one more? Those might be the only 2 new defensive abilities, but it does create a bit more of an interesting dynamic in the combat. And additionally, the Dark Crusader faction has these tokens, which they make magical glades into graveyards, which have their own special set of rules that we will get into. should, and I expect the situation will arise, so we will deal with it then. So I'm shuffling up the Dark Crusader faction tokens, and they're gonna go over here. There's 10 or I guess there's 12. Yeah, because there's 6 and there's 2 of each. So there's actually 12 of those tokens. I do need to get my dummy player. I'm gonna play with Braevalar. He is one of the, I think there's only two or three heroes that I haven't actually got on the channel more than once. And since we're going to Tezla, it made sense to go to Braevalar, who came with the Tezla expansion. Obviously, I'm going to get a dummy player. I'm going to roll a die. We'll just use these for the randomizers. So 1 through 6. I rolled a 1. Again, that's a 1 on this die. So we are going to get Goldix's skills. Everyone loves a dragon. Sorry, we're going to shuffle up his skills. We'll add them to the skill offer, or not the skill offer, add them to the position next to the skill offer. Every time we level up, either level 2, level 4, level 6, level 8, we will add one of Goldix's skills to the skill offer to be available for us for the next time we level up. And then these are Braevalar skills. Awesome. So those 10 will go there. I need Goldix's little round order token, which is hiding. Oh, he's standing on it. Silly dragon. All right, this is going to go over here, and then I guess I can move these up a little bit. We will get his D deck. Make sure there's 16 in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Hey, what's up, David? How are you, man? Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, going a little earlier. We got something coming up tonight, so figured I wanted to get this in and make sure it didn't run into what I got going on later. But we'll test it out. I mean, I like 6 o'clock works well for me, but if this time works, you know, I might kind of vary it a little bit as we go forward with the channel. All right, we got Goldix. Goldix comes in. His card has 2 green mana tokens pictured and 1 blue, so he will start with 2 green crystals and a blue crystal, and obviously that will work into our little timing mechanism that the dummy player is. I'm going to shuffle up the units. We have the elite units. I have them in green. And we have the blue units, which I have in blue. And obviously we will start with 3 of the I said the blue units, but I have in blue. Yes, I have the blue units in blue, guys. I have the regular units in blue, and we will start with 3 of them in play, and I will just kind of stack them on top of themselves to save some room. So we have the thugs. I really do like the thugs a lot. We have the peasants, and we have more thugs. So we got the thug twins and some peasants in between them. That sounds like a party waiting to happen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So cool. We got our D deck, and I think that is everything I need to do except for the initial terrain. All right, so the initial terrain, it is a wedge map, so all the normal rules of wedge maps will apply. You can't build cities on, you can't put a core tile on the coast. I think that's the only real big thing that the city that a wedge map does. So we'll have to be aware of that. The first countryside tile is going to go here. It is a bunch of forests. We got a mage tower in the forest. Now there are no faction tokens for the mage tower, so you'll just take a normal mage tower garrison. But because this is on the northern part of the wedge map, it's going to get a Dark Crusader orc. That's going to go there. And then additionally, so that is a Necromancer, I think that dude is called. I don't know. Yeah, the Shrouded Necromancer. He's like a summoner, and he's fortified. He'll actually be double fortified behind that wall if I actually went to the Mage Tower first. But that magical glade does not become a magical glade. It's actually a graveyard. So we're going to put the graveyard token over it, and guarding that graveyard is going to be a Dark Crusader orc and the Dark Crusader monster, and they will both be placed face up. So we have a Skeletal Warrior. Skeletal Warrior has 5 armor. He is physically resistant and ice resistant. He attacks with 4 with poison. And then we have I think a Corrupted Priestess is the name of this one. It's 5 armor, and it has shield 1. It has the vampiric ability and a cold fire attack. So the problem with that graveyard, I don't know. I would love to get into this one because there's a lot of interesting things going on, but it's going to be hard. That 5 with physical resistance is going to be hard to take care of too early. But and it's also 5 movement just to get in there, so that's probably not in the cards. But we'll see what comes up on this terrain tile. We have a keep, a ruins, a monster den, and a big mountain in the middle of all that. So again, there are no faction tokens for the keeps, so you just use a normal faction token, and that's going to go there. And we have the ruins. Now, one of the things I like about the keeps is it would give me a chance to recruit me some thugs, and I wouldn't hate that. And the ruins go face up because we're in the day. So the ruins, there is.
Question about the tokens.
If we, I'll get to the question. If we defeat a orc and a dragon, now if we challenge this, we would pull a normal orc because it's not a marauding enemy. So orc and it would be a normal dragon as well. And if we defeated that, we would get an artifact on advanced action. That's probably going to be a little bit much to do in the first day. Yo.
Tell me about the tokens. Official expansion.
Is this? It is an official expansion. The weird thing with WizKids is that for some reason they just kind of the quality control just wasn't there. I mean, I correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I don't have Ultimate Edition, but from what I understand, all of this is in Ultimate Edition, and they probably made it better. I'm assuming there's a lot more consistency among the different content that's there. But yeah, it's an official expansion. It was actually the second expansion now that came out before Krang, and it's a pretty cool variant. I mean, there's a lot of content in there for what it is. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, that's a nice list of gaming, man. Talking to David. All right, I have to draw my opening hand. Yeah, I mean, I think I go to the keep so I can recruit the thugs, and then I can go from there, maybe go to the monster den to get some more fame. That ruins is going to be really hard to do because you're asking for trouble if you're going for a dragon that first level, that first round. You know, the Mage Tower is interesting. I don't love any. I mean, Burning Shield can be really nice. Don't get me wrong, but I don't love it enough, I think, to justify the movement. And then I have to somehow the extra movement I need to get across that wall and deal with the Necromancer. It's probably not worth it. So I think the keep will give me some flexibility. Plus, I'll get the extra card draw. So I think that's my first order of business in this game, right? So I'm going to roll the dice in the source. I rolled a blue, a white, and a green. That is totally legit. And then I am going to draw my opening hand. It is green. Oh, green. Wow. March. Promise. Swiftness. Threaten. And Determination. So I got both of my influence cards early, which is even more of an argument to try to get there and hopefully not have to use them in the process. So I think it makes the most sense to take Great Start because, again, these are going to be kind of like dead cards for me for a second, assuming I want to hold on to them to do some recruitment. And Great Start says when you take this tactic, you immediately draw 2 more cards. I get Tranquility, kind of useless, and Rage. I think what I really wish is I had like mana draw or something. There's some possibilities here. It's a lot going to depend on what that garrison is, obviously. All right, so Great Start's out of the game. Now the dummy player is going to pick his tactic. I'm going to roll the die. He rolls a 4, so he takes planning, which makes me not happy because not only is that my second favorite day tactic, it also means that Goldix goes first. So he's a big dragon jerk. Goldix is going to go. Let's get this thing started. So Goldix goes a green. He has a white. He has a white. He has no white crystals, so that is that. So he still has 13 cards left in his deck of deeds. My turn. I guess the argument right now is going to be 2 movement to get there and the 3 movement in. Do I just get next to it? Then I'm not going to draw any cards. Well, if I just get next to it, I mean, that's 5 movement there if I want it. Then the question is that going to be enough attack? That's a gross amount of attack. It's not a lot. That is not a lot. I'm going to play Tranquility and draw the next card. Or I could play Tranquility, draw 2 cards, and then move there. That's probably what I'm going to do. I'm going to power Tranquility, draw 2 cards. Improvisation, that's going to work well. Oh, and that's also very nice. And then what I'm going to do is, because, well, that draw was so good, I might not even need to draw any more cards here. Let me take, I'm going to play Swiftness for move 2. I'm going to reveal this keep because I'm adjacent to it. And now we're just going to need 5 attack for that jerk. Block. We need move and discard a card. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rest there so I can get access to a die in the source. I think that makes the most sense. So I'm going to end my turn. I rolled a red. That's beautiful. I'm going to put my discard pile off the screen. I don't draw any cards because I'm well over my hand limit. And now we go to Goldix. Goldix peels off a green. He peels off a white. He peels off a blue. 1 extra card. My turn. So now I have access to a die in the source again. I'm going to... I won't need that much influence to get the thugs, right? So I will keep... I just keep promise. That should be sufficient. I could do this. Block 5. Red. Yeah, that will work. So I'm going to use improvisation. I'm going to discard March. That gets me into... No, I don't want to discard March. And that, at least not there, because I need the move 2 still. I'm going to get the attack 5. That... Alright, that will work. I'm going to use March. I'm going to play Rage Sideways, because that makes some sense. Oh, it's going to be all my influence cards gone. That's gross. Or I just take the 3 wounds, obviously, which I don't hate, but I already got rid of Tranquility. Ah! Unless I do this, because that's 5. But then I can't block it. This is like not, the math is just, I'm really trying to hold on to an influence card, and I just don't think I'm going to be able to do it. Which is kind of gross. Red 5. I also tried to block him. Alright, it is what it is. I just won't have the influence card I need. That's the attack 5 for sure. Yeah, I wish I needed the green to power March, because that's really what's kind of doing me in right now. Or even if I could get the extra, the more enhanced effect of concentration. It's just not, it's not in the cards, but that's fine. So I'm going to move 2, and then I'm going to discard Threaten to get into the keep. Since I'm attacking a fortified site, I lose a reputation. This guy's attacking me with a 6. I really don't feel like taking 3 wounds, so I'm going to play Concentration to get myself a blue mana. I'm going to power Determination. I'm going to play Rage Sideways. Oops. A blue mana. That's going to be the block 6, and then I'm going to power Improvisation and get the stronger effect. I have to discard Promise to do it, but that does give me an attack 5, which takes care of the Utum Swordsman. Again, they were attacking 6. They have 5 armor. It's going to give me 4 fame, so that's going to let me level up. Is there an influence card there? No, that's fine. It is what it is. We'll have other opportunities to get units. At least we should. I'm going to put the shield on there to indicate that I have done a keep. Now I get the green I wanted. I'm going to actually put, well, when I get an extra keep token, I'll put it up there, because as I take tiles off, I need to keep track of how many keeps I have. But I'll just put this die up here. This green die will indicate how many keeps that I have conquered, assuming that we can get a few. So I used all the cards in my hand to do that without taking any wounds. I know Greg cares about not taking wounds once in a while, and now I have to do my level up. So what's my level up? I'm going to look at the top 2 cards, or 2 things from Braevalar's Skilled deck, the one I can get a green or a blue mana and a green or a white mana. The other one is I can use movement as attack or attack as shield or shield as movement. However I want once a turn. So like one source of movement I can go, hey, now it's a block. That's a very nice card. I think I'm going to, I really like that skill. I like the flexibility, especially in this scenario. And now we're going to add one of Goldix's skills to the skill offer. It is Heal 2. I'm going to grab, I don't like any of these advanced actions. I'll get Steady Tempo. Why not? And there we go. Crushing Bolt is replaced. That's the kind of card that I like. I'm now going to draw up to 5 plus 1 because I am the proud owner of a keep. Of course, mana draw would have been right on top. Had I known that, that would have changed some things. But it is what it is. This is 6. And, oh yeah, I still had 1 with the land. You know, I could have actually just taken those ones. That probably would have been smarter. But we will live with the decision we made. Alright, so we get a red for Goldix, a green, a blue for Goldix, and a green. He has 2 green crystals. They both come off. My turn. I'm going to move. That's fine. I'm going to power Steady Tempo. That gives me move forward. At the end of my turn, I get to put it back on top of my D deck. I'm going to, I have just so much movement right now. Yeah, I'm going to actually play mana draw. I now can use the green. That gives me move 4 from 1 with the land. So I have a total of move 8. So I'm going to move 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to explore. The next countryside tile comes out. Now, this is in the center of the board, right? So on the north side of the board, we get Dark Crusader tokens. On the south side of the board, we get Elementalist tokens. What do we do in the middle? I don't know. All right, so we have a refugee camp. We have a monastery, so that's going to have an advanced action there, Chilling Stare. And what we do in the middle now is because we have this marauding orc, we're going to have to roll a mana die. It is green. Since we rolled a green, if it's green, gold, or white, you put a Elementalist token. If it is black, red, or blue, you put a Dark Crusader token. We'll put this guy right here. So this is a nice tile in the sense that it gives us a chance to do something with the maze, which I'm a big fan of that. So we can either get a spell or an artifact, hopefully there. And then I'll probably go to the refugee camp and hopefully have some influence cards to make up for the fact that I kind of botched my opportunity to recruit someone this turn. So that will be fine. I don't see myself, this is really turn intensive. To go here, to defeat that, to go here and then there, that's a lot of movement. And then you're kind of stuck with that swamp right there. Again, I've talked about this tile before. It's really interesting, but I think it makes more sense for me to go further north and then kind of loop back around. I will say going in that for me, with this scenario, I really want to defeat the Elementalist faction leader first. I find that a much better choice in how to proceed. So I did my move 8 using 2 dice from the source because of mana draw. I'm going to play Stamina for move 2, and let me get into this maze. And maybe I can actually take out this Necromancer with my last turn. We'll see what those cards are. So I reroll both of these dice. It's a gold and a white. I'm going to draw up to 5. I don't have a ton of block, but I have this. And if I move to the refugee camp, well, I probably want to stay in that maze too, but I definitely don't have the right. I don't want to face a random monster enemy. I'm kind of fine facing the Necromancer. I'm just wondering if I can get enough block with whatever orc he's going to throw my way. But again, the orcs, the Dark Crusader orcs aren't that awful. I mean, if it's a wound or 2, I think I'll be okay with that. So let's see. Goldix is going to go. He gets a red. He gets a white. He gets a blue. So he's going to declare his D deck is empty. So he will declare end of round next turn. My turn. We are going to fight the Necromancer. I do not. Again, he's fortified. I don't have any siege attack anyway. So he will attack me. Because he has Summoner, he will attack me using one of the Dark Crusader faction tokens. So summoners of a faction only summon other tokens of that faction. So that kind of makes sense. So what is summoned against me for the attack is a Gibbering Ghoul. Hello, Gibbering Ghoul. It'd be 4 to block him. He has Vampiric. The nice thing about the Gibbering Ghoul coming out now, so Vampiric as a ability, what that means is if I give him every wound he gives me, or every wound he gets in one of my units, his armor is increased by 1, right? So they get life because they have vampires. However, that doesn't then move on to the Necromancer. So basically, if I don't block him, fine, he goes away, and now it's still only 5 to kill the Necromancer. I definitely, you know, in hindsight, I probably should have played Druidic Pass, moved, and then triggered this attack instead of doing what I'm doing now, but that's fine. I can always move in the next turn too. So he will attack me. I have no way of blocking him. That's going to give me 2 wounds. No way of blocking him and also killing the Necromancer is more specifically what I should say here. So he's going to go away. Oh, actually, I wanted to stay there because I want to be on the maze next turn. That's why I stayed there. So he goes there, and now the Necromancer. So that was in the Ranger Siege phase, came and went. In the block phase, he attacked me with a 4 because of the Gibbering Ghoul. I didn't block him. I took those wounds, and now I can attack him in the melee phase. I'm going to power Swiftness with the white from the source. I'm going to play Rage. That gives me the attack 5. The Necromancer is dead. Now, you see at the bottom of the Necromancer's token, there's that little Dark Crusader symbol. Now, I have 2 options. I mean, one of the variants that people do is that you basically treat that symbol like a +1 to the fame value, or you take one of the tokens. And again, I want the tokens. So I'm going to get 3 fame and one of these tokens. And the token I get, oh, it's a fun one. It's called the Amulet of Reawakening. So what happens with the Amulet of Reawakening is that I can at some point go through my discard pile, take a card out, put it at the bottom of my deck, and then the next turn I get +1 to my card draws. So it's a pretty dynamic card. And all of these tokens, I will do my best to save them for when I face the faction leaders later. That's a much better way to go. I will put the Necromancer out of play. I don't level up. We will roll this. It is green, and my turn is over. Goldix declares end of round. I'm going to play Crystallize. I'm going to power it with a green, and I will get a green crystal, and that's a nice way to end the round. Cool. So yeah, if I had another crystal last turn, again, I could have used this to get the block 4. But I didn't have access to enough crystals, which is why, again, I couldn't defend against that Gibbering Ghoul. But I will take those 2 wounds, especially since I have 2 cards that both give me heal in my deck. Because one of the special cards for Braevalar is a heal card. I do think Braevalar is uniquely suited for this scenario in a way I never really felt with him in like Solo Conquest and whatnot. So I don't know if there's something there. I'm just kind of making that up. Burning Shield.
David has thoughts about the rewards tokens.
I like the feel there. Yeah. Plus, you can also remember that during interaction, there's flexibility to these things that are nice. So if you want the fame later, like if I took the fame now, right, it would have been nice. I would have leveled up. But I guess this level up's doesn't really mean that much to me. It's not like I get an extra card draw out of it. During interaction, I could discard tokens and get 3 reputation for each, or 3 fame for each. Not at the 3 influence for each. So it's a really good way to, you know, like, hey, you want to recruit something and you don't have your influence cards, like, well, ding, there you go, give me whatever unit I want, or healing, like whatever. So, and I think in the rulebook it says it's like represents you give something of value to an important person, whatever. I'm adding a red crystal to Goldix's inventory. Burning Shield goes bye-bye. We're adding Maximal Effect to Goldix's deck. And then we're going to move these down. We're putting Chilling Stare back in the D deck. We're getting Decompose is the new advanced action in the unit offer. And Mana Storm is the new advanced action in the advanced action offer. Can you see it on the... Yeah, it's there. Okay, you can kind of see it. And then we have the new spell is Tremor. And Tremor is another one, man. I really don't love these spells. Tremor is cool in a sense, but remember that because we're going as the faction leaders, we don't really need to reduce armor of an entire garrison in the same way. But you know, because you don't need to defeat everyone in the faction leader's army to defeat the faction leader, so it just loses some of the power that it has in like a Solo Conquest or a Volcari's Return scenario or things like that. But it's interesting. And also, they're not fortified, so you never get that -4 armor that you can get at night with Earthquake. Alright, so my thugs are gone. Never got them or their brother. And the new regular units we have are Illusionists, we have some Herbalists, and we have some Utum Swordsmen. Only can be recruited in a keep, or I can recruit them for +1 at the refugee camp, and I'm definitely eyeing them. I have unnatural love for the Utum Swordsmen. Alright, we are now going to flip the source to the night side. This gets rolled. It is a red, a black, and a gold because we were not 50% basic. Both of those are re-rolled. And now we have a red and a white. Not a bad source. What am I doing? That's done. That's done. That's done. That's done. That's done. I think I did everything. Right, so I'm pulling up the 5 cards. No, I got to shuffle. Goldix is the deck. I knew there was one thing. There's always one thing. It's Mage Knight. Welcome to Mage Knight. All right. So one of the arguments, it would have been, well, if I can get that +1 fame, I can get a second command token, and maybe actually get 2. Well, actually, if I defeat something in there, I'll get the second command token anyway, so that's fine. I am pulling up the 5. I got Crystallize, Determination, Rage, March, and Swiftness. I think I take Preparation. The question is, what's gonna... Yo? You don't. Oh, right, I didn't. Yes, you are supposed to. Thank you. I always, in these tokens, that's one thing I definitely forget. So yeah, all the +1 reputations count like normal because you lose reputation for fortified site and you gain reputation for killing a marauding enemy. So yeah, that's a good catch, man. I appreciate that a lot.
I think he's joining us from Poland.
Nice. All right. So I am going. Did you answer that question? If you're a gamer?
Who? Where?
David.
Someone who said that.
It's on fire. I don't know. Yeah, she's a gamer. So Sarah plays games that she can kick my butt in, and then when it's up high. Yeah, she's very good. It's annoying. So I'm taking Preparation. I don't know what I want. So
no, that's me asking him if his fiance is a gamer.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. Sorry,
That's the whole conversation.
I know. I'm too busy making bad decisions over here. So I'm going to take Concentration. I think makes the most sense. Yeah. Oh, I don't. Yeah, I have the green there. Yeah, that's fine. I'll take Concentration. I can use this to remove 4. Oh, I really don't like those spells though. This is garbage. The other option. Oh man, the spells are really bad. Could I get move 6? Well, I can move 6 and then potentially get an artifact. That I don't hate. That I do not hate. Yeah, I'm gonna take Concentration because I took Preparation as my tactic, and now I'm drawing this 1 extra card, and we are good there. And now we have to roll for Goldix's tactic. Do not roll 6. I rolled a 3. That's better. Although, Mana Search can be helpful, but if I can get Sparing Power to the 3rd night, that makes Greg happy. So Goldix is going to go first again because he's a jerk. And we are now peeling off 3. So red, it's like red, it's just blue. Very close. They make purple together, if you know that. All right, so blue, red, blue. 1 more comes off the top because he has 1 blue crystal. He, she, they, whatever Goldix is. We are now going to enter the maze. I am powering Concentration with my green crystal, which I got at the end of the last round with Crystallize, and that's going to give me a move 6. So I'm entering. Again, with mazes, you can spend 2 movement, 4 movement, or 6 movement. I am spending 6 movement. Let's get ourselves an artifact. I beat most... Yeah, I defeat most enemies, especially with this. So, I could get really unlucky here, but I think I'll be okay. So, we are pulling a random monster enemy, and it is... a werewolf. I'm never blocking him. If I had concentration, I can get actually a ranged attack 5, which would be pretty money. But Werewolf has swiftness, so that would be 14 points of block. That's not happening. So that is 4 wounds because he's attacking me with a 7, and I only have armor of 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's fine. Small price to pay. And now I just need 5 attack, which just now all this feels anticlimactic. I'm going to spend 3 on swiftness and then 2 on rage. And this dude is dead. Again, we're in a maze. Does not get any reputation change, but it does get me 5 fame. All right, so I'll do the level up now before I forget. So I have another command token in play. And that should be fine. I'll just rest next turn, get these wounds out of my hand, and then we'll figure out how to deal with them later. So I'm going to roll. And the other nice thing too about drawing a whole new hand is hopefully I can dig out some of my influence cards. So I rolled, it is black. Werewolf's kind of brutal when you only have 2 armor. That's a lot of wounds early, but you know, it is how I play. Goldix is going to go. He gets a green, he gets a blue, he gets a green. He has 2 green crystals, so he went through his deck a little bit faster than is ideal. That is for sure. My turn, I'm going to play Crystallize. I'm going to get a red mana, a red crystal, and then I'm going to rest. Again, you can play special effects on the same turn that you rest. So that's a special card. We're good. I'm going to discard 1 non-wound card and any number of wounds. And we're going to now draw up to our hand limit again. So I'm going to draw 5 cards. We get another wound, stamina, mana draw, steady tempo. Oh, you know what?
2 comments. Don't forget an artifact.
Yes! You guys are the best.
And Tomas says you've been helpful in teaching him that wounds aren't that bad.
Nah, they're not that bad. All right. Emerald Ring. Thank you. I had Emerald Ring or Book of Wisdom. The Book of Wisdom makes you throw away action cards. Again, I'm not a huge fan of that. I like big hands, and if you throw away cards, I just find that you're more likely to risk losing turns because you have less in your D deck. And I always like to have at least 1 source of black mana that I can rely on, and Emerald Ring is that.
So did you check the chat? I just didn't want to advise you poorly. Are you good with the artifact?
Am I good with the artifact?
So Riedel said, don't forget the artifact, and then Tomas says, I think he took it. It was a maze.
It was a maze. I didn't take the artifact.
You did or did not?
Didn't. I just took it now.
And it was a maze.
I was in a maze, yeah.
I don't know. All right.
Yeah, I went to the level 6 maze.
So you are correct now.
I think so. I don't know. Am I ever correct? We'll see. Yeah. Oh, the one thing I forgot to do last hand, but last turn I wanted to. It didn't matter though. I forgot to put Steady Tempo back on top of my deck too. This is one of those cards that is really easy to forget all the benefits of it. That's one of the reasons I don't love it so much because there's so much else going on, especially when I'm like explaining what I'm doing, because there's like a lot more I'm thinking about right now. But it can be a really helpful card in the right circumstance. So yeah, that should have gone on top of my deck at the end of last turn. But again, I still wanted to be in that maze for precisely the reason that it was an opportunity for me to get a goodie. And you know how I love my artifacts. All right. So I think he went, I defeated the maze. He went, I rested. So yeah, it's his turn again. Her turn, whatever. Red, white. No white crystals. Thank you, Goldix, for slowing down for 1 second. My turn. We are going to play Steady Tempo. And we're going to play Stamina. That gives me move 4. I don't have any. I don't have access to white. I don't have. Yeah, this is kind of not great. So I'm going to use move 4. And since mana draw is not exactly helping me right now because I have all the extra green I want, I'm going to play this sideways and let's get another tile out so I can draw and hopefully get Promise or Intimidation. So we have another countryside tile. I'm going to tilt all of Atlantia, or Atlantis, and we're going to get a new Marauding Orc enemy from the Dark Crusader faction. Is going to go up there. That is a Skeletal Warrior. We have a Magical Glade. That becomes a Graveyard. Man, I really wish these spells were better. So that gets another Dark Crusader Orc. It's zombies! They have ice resistance, because clearly you can't attack zombies with ice. It doesn't work. They have 3 separate attacks with Cumbersome. Now, the multiple attacks with Cumbersome is interesting in that you don't have to deal with each of those attacks separately. You can just play 2 movement and negate 2 of their damage. So it's a really different kind of thing. And then we have a Vampire who has 5 attack with Vampiric. Now, the nice thing about these, like all these sites, that you notice, I didn't provoke the attack when I moved because the Elemental Priestess, I think she is, Goddess, what is she called? The Elemental Priestess, she's behind a wall, so that would not provoke an attack, which is fine. These don't provoke attacks. You can actually end your turn there and not provoke an attack. It becomes like an adventure site where you can choose to enter it or not, or you can choose just to live at peace with the Skeletal Warrior and the Vampire. Or the zombies, whatever, that's fine. We're good. The other thing, the dungeon there is nice because that could be another way to get an artifact, considering I'm not all that enamored with the spells. Again, the benefit of liberating the graveyard is it does unlock the ability to, again, you get the spell and then you get a black mana at the beginning of every turn in night. The magical glades are more helpful on the elemental side because they also provide that heal 1 at the end of your turn. Do I want to play Emerald Ring? I don't think a green mana is going to be all that helpful to me. And I really want to draw through my deck, and Goldix has been going pretty fast. So I'm going to use the special effect of the Emerald Ring. I'm going to gain a green crystal. I'm going to gain green mana, which I'm just immediately going to throw away. And then I'm going to get +1 fame. All right, now I'm not going to forget Steady Tempo this time. Steady Tempo, move 2 at the end of your turn. Instead of putting this card in your discard pile, you may place it on the bottom of your D deck as long as it is not empty. That will go there. This goes away because I didn't use it. And I draw up to 5. All right, so we have Tranquility, Druidic, it's a hard word, Paths, and Promise. Oh, and Improvisation. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Trying to think how much influence I can get here. Definitely enough for the Ultimate Swordsman. I don't think I like the Illusionists enough to stretch for them. They're decent, but, you know. Yeah, the most I'm going to get... Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get the Illusionist. That's fine. So Goldix is going to go. It's a white. It's a red. It's a red. 1 red crystal. So that comes off. So it worked out fairly well there. My turn. I'm going to play Tranquility to heal 1. I have a second wound in there. I'm pretty sure I have a second wound in here. Might make some strategic sense to try to hold on to this for a second. I need Influence 6 to get the Swordsman. So I can power Improvisation with the red mana from the source. That's going to give me Influence 5. And then I will play Promise, which gives me Influence 7. I am now the proud owner of the Utum Swordsman. They're beautiful. Then we're going to, yeah, let's see if I can pull that second wound out. I'm pretty sure I got 2 wounds at the end of that last round. That is a green. And we're going to pull up 2, 3 more. Oh, there's my other healing card. Oh, there it is. Look at me. Once in a while I remember stuff. And, oh, wait, I needed, by the way, I had 7 anyway, but I would have needed 7 to get the Utum Swordsman. I had 5 plus the 2 because, again, I recruited them at a refugee camp, and the surcharge for units that can only be recruited at keeps is +1. So kind of lucked into doing it correctly, which is nice. Goldix is going to go. His D deck is empty. He will declare end of round next turn. My turn, I'm going to power Tranquility. We're going to get heal 2. I'm going to move. That's a forest, so that's actually going to be move a lot. So maybe it does make sense to just go to that dungeon, try to get an artifact. We just won't liberate any graveyards. And that graveyard wouldn't be that brutal to liberate. That's fine. I'm going to move. You know, and I have. Oh, and the Utum Swordsman won't come with us down the dungeon because they're screwed. So they're not that useful. Now, does it make sense to try to use it with Utum Swordsman just to liberate the graveyard anyway? That's the question. But the move 5 is kind of making that not possible. So Not gonna overthink it. Oh, the Elemental Priestess is doing a fire attack 3 and a ice attack 3. So, I mean, I could try to stay there and see if I can't take her out just to get the 3 fame, which gives me a level up. But that's gonna be that's only 2 wounds. I could actually wound the Utham Swordsman and then heal them, give him. I could use a block 6 on him, but to need heal 2 from him, I could just take the wounds in my hand and heal with 1 with the land. So that also wouldn't be bad. Sure, why not? I'm going to attack the Elemental Priestess. She's behind the wall. I don't have siege attack, so she's going to give me 2 wounds. I'm going to use the Utham Swordsman for attack 3. And then I'm going to use Swiftness Sideways for attack 4. So that's done. And then at the end of the turn, I'll use the green next turn to get the heal 2. That's fine. Yeah, I'm only going to be missing out on 1 card on my deck, which I'm not that upset about. Oh, 2, because I'm going to get a new advanced action. So she's dead. I get 3 fame. That gets me up to 16. And I'm going to get 1 of the Elementalist tokens here. It is... Ooh, that's a really helpful token late game. I could basically reveal a tile for free that's within 3. And that's a nice way to see, all right, how are these core tiles working out, and where do I need to go to actually pull this thing off. So she's super dead. I'll put her there. I'm going to roll... Now we're going to roll this. Let me do my level up. The 2 actions here are I can ignore 2 points of elemental attack or 1 point of physical attack, or I can get 2 mana tokens. I will take the mana tokens this time. And the added Goldix skill is 1 blue crystal and 1 green mana. And then the advanced action I want, of course, is Crushing Bolt.
Wait, another 1 reputation?
Yes. I tell you what, man, those tokens are like, I'm like so focused on the tokens I forget the rest. Cool, I appreciate that. And I might actually hang out in this refugee camp and kind of see what comes out next turn. I think that might actually be the strongest play because units are so helpful in this scenario. All right, Goldix, he declares end of round. My turn. I'm going to power this, heal 2 as I plan to. So I only have 4 wounds in here, all from the werewolf. That's not terrible. I can live with that. And then I will hang out in the refugee camp to give me a chance to recruit something beginning of next turn. I think that just makes the most sense. I'm going to play Crushing Bolt. I get another green crystal to my inventory. And that's all she wrote. I had no use for this, but that's fine. All right, round is over. I don't know why I rolled that, because the round is over. The 2 cards I never got to, well, one we knew was Steady Tempo, the other one was a Rage. And we will shuffle my deed deck. We're going to re-ready the Utham Swordsman. We're going to get rid of Decompose. We're going to add Refreshing Walk to Goldix's little deed deck. And he gets a blue crystal. Give me something good. Flame Wall. That's great. I love Flame Wall. There are a lot of like flame resistant enemies in this scenario. But you know, with the factions, but yeah, I'm such a sucker for Flame Wall. It's so cool. All right, we're gonna shuffle Goldix's deed deck. And then we're going to need to get some new units. We don't have a core tile on the board yet, so we're just going to get the 3 regulars. Now, I really do want to discover where the hidden valley is by the end of this round. That's like super important to me in the timing that I like to keep in this game. So, you know, I might feel like I'm messing around here. I'm killing that Elemental Priestess was more of like I realized I wasn't where I wanted to be fame-wise. And I just felt like, all right, let me do something productive. I don't. The Magic Familiars have grown on me a lot. I realized I was playing them wrong. I was reading their rules wrong, and I explained that in a couple of the videos, so I'm not going to kind of belabor that point here. The Peasants are alright, I guess. I don't know. I get a red, a black, and a white.
I don't know if that should or shouldn't. Have two.
Oh, there are 2 monasteries.
You
Yeah.
saying should or shouldn't?
I should. Yeah, there are 2 monasteries. How would that have worked out? I took an advanced action, so ritual attack would have been put there last round. I just never added it. That's fine. So pathfinding would have, so it would have been there and there, right? And then because then I took a card, so that would have been pathfinding, and then we gave a card to Goldix. So then these 2 would come over here. We have learning and stout resolve, and then we get into the heat. Cool. I'm gonna draw up to 5. I think I did that right. Someone else wants to figure out that math for me. That'd be great. One with the land gives me a heal 1. I did get the influence 4. It might just be, I might just pick up the peasants. I mean, they're pretty replaceable fodder. Pretty easy to put a wound on. I mean, the 3 armor could come in handy. So I'm here. I might as well, I guess. Let me pick up the day tactics. And this is my hand. Right moment is dumb in a solo game. Don't really want to rethink. Already have that. I'll take Mana Steel. Why not? And I'm going to take the red. We're going to roll for Goldix. Roll a 6 Goldix. Be cooperative 1 time. Now he gets a 1, of course. So he's first. And we're going to go with his turn. Improvisation. Rage and rage. He has 1 red. That's fine. My turn. I'm going to power up Promise to give me influence 4, and just to get this wound out of my hand. It's not the most efficient use of 1 with the land, but it will at least get this wound out so I can kind of go forward with the rest of this turn. So I recruited the peasants, and because they can be recruited at villages, they do cost, they just cost what they would normally cost in a village. My reputation is on the 0, thanks to someone reminding me I keep forgetting to take the reputation, and it is now just a unit added to my Ultimate Swordsman. They're going to make some friends. That's the end of my turn. I'm rolling. It is green. I draw up to 5. It's a wound. Of course it is. Oh, it's 2 wounds. Thanks. Might not be the worst idea to rest right now. Yeah, I don't. Oh, man, Flame Wave makes me want to wipe out to liberate the graveyard now. Actually, the other option I have is I could go across to this monastery. It's a lot of movement, 7, and I don't have a ton of movement. Well, I burned down the monastery, but then my units won't help me there because, you know, they have morals. Fine, let's see what Goldix is doing. Goldix is getting a blue, he gets a green, and a green. He has 2 green crystals. Not great. And I could use the move 2 from the peasants, and then swiftness. Yeah, I don't think the dungeon is gonna be in the cards. It's gonna be just too many turns. Swiftness. I think I rest. Let me get these wounds out, and then I should be in a place where I can kind of deal with this graveyard the next turn. So graveyard is interesting in that night rules apply in a graveyard, so you can't use gold mana, but you can use black mana, but the movement cost to get into the graveyard is still the same as it is based on the round. So it's still 3 to get into this forest, but once I'm there, night rules apply. If that makes sense. So I'm drawing with a 5, steady tempo, march, and mana draw. Don't hate it. Goldix gets a red. I mean a white, a red, and a white. He has no white crystals. Of course, I have this Mana Steel with a red mana, but I don't have any red mana. So I'm going to move 4 with steady tempo in March. I'm going to get into this graveyard, and I think I'll have enough. Blocks. That's not helpful. The other way I could do this, I think makes more sense, is I'm going to use this skill. I'm going to get a blue and a blue. So I'm using Braevalar's skill. This one's called Lightning Storm. I'm going to power steady tempo. So again, that's going to go on top of my deck at the end of this round. So I move into the graveyard. I have the other blue, which gives me a 5 block. And then I have this skill, which I can use this March to give me attack with this skill, which is called Shapeshift. All right, so what's going on? The vampire is attacking me. I'm going to block him with a block 5. Now that's important because not only does he have vampiric, but he's also elusive. So if I didn't block him, I would need 10 points of attack to defeat him in the melee phase. And that's who has 10 points of attack just lying around. Now I have the zombies. The zombies have cumbersome. I only need 10 points of attack total to defeat both of them. I can get 6 from the Utham Swordsman, and then I can power March. And I could use Shapeshift to get me 10, so I'm definitely not worried about them. The question is, do I really want to wound? If I do the 3, the 2... Yeah, I think I'm going to wound the Utham Swordsman. That's fine. I still have Rejuvenate in my deck. So I've blocked the vampire. I'm going to use the 2 points of movement from the peasants to trigger the cumbersome. I'm going to turn Mana Search sideways, and I'm going to spend that as 1 point of block or movement. It doesn't matter. So the zombies are fully blocked, and now I just need 10 points of attack. Now the zombies are ice resistant. Obviously, I'm not doing an ice attack, so I'm going to wound the Utham Swordsman to give me attack 6, and then I'm going to use the green from the source to power March, and I'm going to use those 4 points of movement as attack with Shapeshift, and that is enough to kill both of those guys. So that's 6 fame. That's going to get me up to 22. I'm going to take Flame Wall. Oh, man, I mean, I'm tempted to take Tremor, but because Tremor, the armor doesn't work on enemies that are arcane resistant, so Tremor is like really limited. Flame Wall is a lot more important. So I'm taking Flame Wall. That gets replaced, and I don't level up. I also take, since I defeated 2 enemies from the Dark Crusader faction, I will get 2 more of their little tokens. The one is going to allow me to add. It's called Ghostly Elixir. It allows me to add ranged attack to 1 of my physical attacks, or actually any attacks. Any one single action card becomes ranged attack, which is nice. And then I get 2 movement, and that does not provoke enemies. And that can come in real handy when you get some dragons later, and you just want to get around them without having to provoke an attack. So they are both defeated. We're going to clean up my play area. Steady tempo, since I powered it with the blue, is actually going to go on top of my deck. Actually, remember to do that this time. Proud of myself. And we're going to re-roll this green. I know the source looks weird. Remember, I still have this red die over on Mana Steel. I am going to... Man, I really need 2 points of fame more, because having a 6 card would be super nice here. But we'll get there. So I get steady tempo, shocked. Flame Wave... Of course, this skeleton guy is actually one of the many enemies that is immune to flame attack. I get Threaten, and I get my Emerald Ring. I mean, I might Shapeshift might come in handy here, even if I use steady tempo for it. Let's see what I want to do. All right, Goldix is going to go. It's a white, it's a white, it's a green. He has 2 green crystals, so they both come off the top. My turn. I'm going to... Back. Yeah, I think I just do that. And I'm like, I have so many cards left in my deck, so there's really no point in...
You can discard a wound on magical blade.
It's not a magical glade, it's a graveyard. So the normal graveyard, like if I was here during night, I would get a black mana, but it's not a magical glade, it is a graveyard. Oh, my reputation goes up too, because when you liberate a graveyard or a magical glade, you get +1 reputation in this scenario.
Oh, he said at the end of last turn.
Right. I still can't heal a wound because that's not a magical glade. So the healing effect only happens in magical glades. The graveyards don't have that. They're just a totally different beast. Man, there's no sense in me playing these cards close to the vest when I have so many cards left in my deck. So I'm going to turn both of those sideways, and we're going to explore. Definitely be behind tempo here. All right, we get a third graveyard. Why all the graveyards? All right, so that goes there. We're going to get these 2 units. There's another monastery, which I'll remember to do this time. So this is up to 3 in the unit offer.
Can you just answer one more question to clear this all up then? He says, is it still a graveyard if you kill all the enemies?
It's still a graveyard. You liberate the graveyard. It never becomes a magical glade. Never becomes a magical glade. All right. Oh, and then we have, so I should be keeping track. So this is the middle of the board. So this is going to be another Dark Crusader orc over here. I'm gonna need to kill that guy. So I'm going to, again, I want to get cards into my hand. So I'm going to play the Emerald Ring now before I forget. That gives me a green crystal and a green mana and Fame 1. I'm not going to be able to use the green mana, but that's fine. I'm going to use the red from Mana Steel to block this guy's attack of 3. Now again, it's a fire block. He's only doing a physical attack. That's fine. And then I'm going to play Steady Tempo. I'm going to power it with the blue from the source. Again, I'm using 2 dice. The Mana Steel does not count as using a die from the source. And I'm going to use Shapeshift, so that move 4 is going to become an attack 4, which is all I need. He's immune to fire attacks, but not physical attacks. So he's dead. I get 1 more Fame, which is nice. And I get another one of these suckers. I get the same one I had before, the Amulet of Reawakening. You know, you can only use, when it comes to the faction tokens, you can only use one. I can't use both of these in the same turn. You can only use one of these one turn, and you can use the other one another turn. So you can't use 2 tokens of the same name on the same turn. That's there. I get 1 reputation for that. Man, my reputation is amazing. And then we're going to roll both of these. This green mana was never used. Shapeshift comes back. Shapeshift is such a cool little skill. And now since I leveled up, we get another token, and I am going to be able to draw 6 cards. All right. Need tons of movement, I think. So I have Druidic Paths, Improvisation, Rage, Tranquility, and Crystallize, and Swiftness. Now, of course, I got some zombies in my way, so I'm going to want to move there, kill the zombies this turn. And then maybe explore next turn. I will have 1 more turn. All right, Mana Steel can go away. Goldix is going to go and fall on his face. My turn. We are going to, I could, again, I'll have the Shapeshift. All right, I'm going to spend Tranquility to give me the heal 2 before I forget, to make sure I heal up my Utham Swordsman. That's super important. I'm going to need 5 points of movement to get there. I'm definitely not going to the graveyard. As much as I like Snowstorm,
Steady Tempo should not be done.
Yes, that goes on that should go on my hand. Oh, what was my first card? Druidic Pass was my first card. What was my last card? Swiftness was my last card. And I did power it, so even though I shapeshifted, it goes back on my hand. Back on top of my deck. I'm going to play Druidic Paths, which the movement cost of 1 space is reduced by 1. So the movement cost of that forest should be 3, but now it's 2. I'm going to play Steady Tempo. I'm going to play... am I going to be able to defeat... Yeah, I'm going to play Crystallize. I guess I'll just beat the zombies next turn. Yeah, we're definitely behind. Alright, so crystallize. I'll hold on to crystallize. Improvisations, kind of. I'll have the attack 5 I need. So I'm going to play Rage sideways. That gives me to move 5. I will end my turn there. And because I ended on a blue mine, I get a blue crystal. This gets cleaned up. Oh, and I guess I didn't, since I didn't use a die from the source, I could have used that green. So I'll save the 3 crystals in my inventory. That's fine. I got no new information during that turn. Now, steady tempo will go on the bottom of my deck. And I will draw up 6. And 6. Goldix declares end of round. My turn. I'm going to make sure I do this right. That's the attack 5. That's the move 3. Yeah, that will work. That will work. So I'm going to do stamina for move 2. There's no way I can get a core tile out, which is a little bit gross. We have ourselves a keep, which I don't hate, because remember, I've already defeated one keep. I'm going to move this in the end of the round, so that will get a little bit neater. We have a village, but if I can go up there, defeat that keep, that's +2 cards. I don't hate that. I'm going to then... Yeah, this will work. I'm going to move another 2. Do I want to end there for the... I don't know if that's worth it. I guess I'll take another blue crystal. Yeah, I'm not going to move the other 2. That's fine. I'm going to provoke the zombies. The zombies are going to attack. I'm going to play improvisation. I'm going to discard crystallize. That gives me move 3. That's enough because of cumbersome to reduce the zombies, all 3 of their attacks to 0. And then I'm going to play crushing bolt, power with the green from the source, and play rage. That's an attack 5. And the zombies are now dead. I get 2 more fame and another one of the Dark Crusader tokens. So that is... It's an issue of Vampiric Chalice. After combat this turn, for each enemy you defeated, you may discard a wound for a maximum of 4. So zombies are dead. Rolling this. We have nothing but black dice in the source. It doesn't matter. Goldix is already declared end of round. And we just had 1 wound there. So I think I just have 3 wounds. That's not the worst. I ended my turn on the blue mine again, so I will get another blue crystal, which is why I didn't move there. All right, let me clean this up before I forget. So I'm taking all this out. I'm going to take a keep token for a keep conquered. Yes, +2. Look at me. I'm not used to moving the reputation this high up. That's what's throwing me off. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3. This is going to be the 5th level, and that's important. So that's the middle, and you can never place the Hidden Valley north of the middle, and you can never place the Necropolis south of the middle. So you always want to know where the middle is. So I just use this little tile to kind of keep me in line there. So all those tiles are coming off. I'm here. That can come off. And those go there. Notice I didn't put the ones, like any of the faction tokens, I didn't put them in the ones I defeated, because in theory they're still on the board somewhere. We are going to run out of tiles for the Dark Crusader faction at some point, and then you'll just reshuffle the one from the ones that you defeated. That made sense. So I'm going to get this back. I got my peasants. I got my Utum swordsman. And we're good. Yeah, not totally thrilled with my current position. I'm intrigued by that keep, and we're not going to have any access to elite units this round, so it's kind of just somehow ended up pretty behind tempo here. The Mana Storm is going to go there. These are going to go here. We're going to get 3 new, because there's still 3 monasteries. I should put a die on there so I don't forget that. 3 new of those. Well, I guess that die will kind of serve that same purpose. And then the new advanced action is Force of Nature. Cure comes off. We're going to put a green crystal in Goldix's inventory. So he does have 3 of those. And then this comes down. It's Restoration. I like Snowstorm. I don't know if there's going to be a way for me to get it. I definitely like Snowstorm more than Tremor in this exact scenario. Oh, Manticores should be shuffled in here. Again, the faction leader for the Elementalist has a lot of fire resistance. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Goldix's deck is correct. I need to replace the units. We only get regulars, we get illusionists, we get guardian golems, and we get savage monks. Huh. Does make an argument go to the monastery. Maybe I recruit the monks, burn the monastery down, get a second artifact, and that's a place where I can put a couple of tiles on the board. Don't hate that. Alright, we're going to the knight. Instead of going to the keep, we're just 7 movement away, and then I'm going to have to do some things. This might make a little bit more sense. Alright, we get a red, we get a white, and we get a green. That's a decent roll. I am pulling 6 cards. We get 1 with the land, mana draw, march, stamina, tons of movement, a wound, and concentration. Let me move these over here. And you see how these tokens are going. And remember, I can discard one of these just for 3 influence during interaction at the monastery, which gives me the savage monks. And I have so much green mana, that's probably a no-brainer. Or green crystals and mana. Alright, let me take my... I definitely don't want to take Sparing Power. I have to risk it. I'm going to take From the Dusk, which would give me guarantee I go first, and hopefully Goldix rolls a 2 or a 4 before I roll a 6. What is it? It's a 4! Yes! Love it. Alright, we are first, and I have Sparing Power available to me next round, and I will next night, and I will definitely, most likely, need that. Definitely most likely. It's a very firm statement by me. Alright, let's go. I am going to... Oh, I gotta heal. I can heal at the monastery just for... Oh, man, I get +2, and healing at the monastery is just 2 points of influence. So I can probably get the monks and healed up without having to do much else. Of course, I don't have any of my influence cards, but if I discard this... This might make some sense too. Alright. I'm going to move 4 with March to get here. And now I'm going to... Do I want to do that? Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to move 4 with stamina. Let's get some tiles on the board, see what we're dealing with. Now again, you have to put Core City tiles. I'm using one of my crystals, which I know, but I have access to blue mana whenever the heck I want it. So I'm going to use one of my crystals. I'm going to have to put core tiles where they touch 2. So this core tile is coming on the board. It is the Green City. That is a beautiful thing that ended up right there. It's in the middle. So although we're putting the Hidden Valley, it doesn't mean that everything there is an Elementalist token, right? You still have to roll separately for each other enemy. You can put the Hidden Valley there because it is, you can't put it on the northern tile, but that's right in the center, so that's fine. We're going to roll. Let's do, yeah, we'll do the orcs first. So we're going to roll to see if that's going to be Elementalist or Dark Crusader. I rolled a red, so that's going to be Dark Crusader. And it is a Gibbering Ghoul. We're going to roll here to see if that's going to be an Elementalist or a Dark Crusader. It's a white. It is an Elementalist. We're going to roll here to see if that's a Graveyard or a Magical Glade. It's a white. It is a Magical Glade. All right. And that might be something we want to, if we can do this quick enough, we might want to go there and take care of that on the 3rd day, because then we can get another artifact. Although if I wipe this side out, maybe it's not going to matter. So I have a Gibbering Ghoul in front of me, which is annoying. I still have 2 points of movement from this, because again, I had marched, so I moved to 4. Actually, I'm just going to use this. Yeah, I'm not... I got no new information that mattered, so I'm going to move forward March, And then I'm moving forward stamina, so I still have two points of that movement there. So I still have 2 points of movement that I can go for here. It is not the Necropolis. It is a big dragon in my face. So that is the north part. So we don't have to roll the dice this time. We just put a Dark Crusader dragon. He's a jerk. There's two kind of Dark Crusaders dragons. There's the Vampiric dragons and the Death dragon. He's a Death dragon. So he has attack of 7 with Assassin and Paralyzed. So that's no fun. We're going to get a Mage Tower garrison. We're going to get a Ruins, which is going to be face down. And then we're going to get that's it. It's just a lake. I know look like I'm dodging traffic over here. The lighting works really well for the camera, but it's for me sometimes I can't really see what the heck's going on. So what I want to do, just looking how this faces up, is I'm probably going to want to go around for sure. I don't want to go through that dragon unnecessarily. That's just a waste of everyone's time. The real question is, how do I do the rest of this turn? I probably take care of the Gibbering Ghouls. He's attacking me with a 4. I can block 4. And then I would just need 4 points of attack. That's fine. Mana draw can go out. All right, so I'm going to use the peasants to get me block 2. I'm going to use one with the land to get me block 2. And then I'm going to use the Utum Swordsman to get me block 3. They're not going to help me if I burn down the monastery anyway. So that is what it is. And I'm going to use mana draw sideways to get me the attack 4. So we kill the Gibbering Ghouls. I get a reputation bump. I get 2 fame. I get another one of these. It is the same as this one. All right. That's one thing I could try to do. If I can work my way around to that village during this night, it's a lot of movement, but I still have the steady tempo, which can really come in handy for that. Then I can potentially just pillage that village a ton, wipe out the Hidden Valley pretty quick next turn. But it's all going to depend on where. I really need the Necropolis to come in there, because otherwise I'm probably not going to have enough movement to make this work. All right, we're rolling this. It is gold. Gibbering Ghoul is dead. He's going to go in the dead pile. And now we're going to draw up to 6. Give me some influence. Oh, man. Or not. I got 0 influence. That's not good. I'm going to use the peasants, because they had influence too. I gambled a little bit. Didn't work. Alright, Goldix is going to go. He peels off a white. He peels off a blue. He peels off a blue. We get 2 more because he has 2 blue crystals in his inventory. My turn. I can get, so I'm +2. I can get the Savage Monks. So I can discard 2 of these. Let me do this. I'm going to discard this skill. It is Mystical Map. I get to reveal a token. I want to try to eliminate some of these tokens to make it more likely the Necropolis ends up here. So, because I can't put the Necropolis here. So the Necropolis is on top, which it will be 1/3 of the time. This is the bad move, but I'm gambling that it's not. So I'm going to explore for free and put a tile here. As long as it's within range 3, that's totally fine. It's the Necropolis. I'm the worst. So that I could have just put right there, but I didn't. So instead, because I can't put this because it's a southern tile, we're going to get another monastery and a tomb. And now what I really want to do is explore there, because I know the Necropolis can't go there, so I can basically force the Necropolis to go there, which is where I need it to be. All right, so because we got another monastery, we now have a 4th advanced action in the unit offer because we needed more of those. This is going to get shuffled in and randomized. I'm just going to roll a die. That's at the bottom. That's there. And that was useless. I want 9 points of influence total. I'm going to play Crystallize with a white to get a white crystal. I'm going to discard one of these. I'll take those 2 points of movement. They could definitely come in handy. And I'll discard one of these. So that gives me influence 6. I have +2, that's influence 8. And I'm discarding swiftness sideways for influence 9. So I get the Savage Monks and 1 point of healing. Because when you're spending influence, you can basically, the reputation bonus only triggers once, and you can get as many things that you can afford of many different types of things that you could actually get in the location that you're at. So units, advanced actions. I mean, the advanced actions are interesting. I didn't have enough influence to get one of the ones I would have really wanted. So it just made more sense to do that. All right, now if I get all my influence cards, I might actually take some of those advanced actions, but we'll see. So I'm going to clean up my play area. We're going to roll this die. It is white, and now I draw up to 6 again. There's Promise. That should work. I don't hate that. Yeah. All right, we're going to go with Goldix. He gets a red, he gets a green, he gets a green. 3 more. That's too fast. Stop it. My turn. We're going to... Don't know if I siege the monastery. I think I do 1 more turn of influence and I start to book it. Cloud Griffin. I mean, artifacts can be so game-changing. That is for sure, though. All right, I'm going to play Concentration. I'm going to play Promise. That's going to give me Influence 6. That's going to let me heal. Well, I guess I don't need Influence 6. I'm just healing. Oh, yeah, and I already have the +2. So I'm just going to spend Promise, and then I get the modification of the +2. That is enough to allow me to heal 2. Influence 8. Don't want to throw out any more of those. Again, the only one I'd be looking at is either Swift Bolt or Power Crystals. But again, so I have Influence 4. I'm going to get 1 point of healing for every 2. And I will leave everything else as it is. That's done. And then I draw 3 more cards. Rage, Improvisation, and Flame Wall. Goldix goes red, blue, and red. I am going to burn down the monastery because I'm a big jerk. 1, 2, 3. We're pulling a random Mage Tower Garrison. Again, it's not from any faction. And we get an Illusionist. That's fine. Again, my monks won't help me here. So we will just let them attack me. They're pulling a random monster enemy. If I pull the werewolves again, that would kind of be a little bit gross. And we pull the Manticores. So the Manticores are attacking with a 4. It has they're fire resistant. So this isn't. I'm actually attacking those guys anyway. But they have swiftness, so I'm going to need 8 points of block to block them, which is a little gross, but I can get block.
Somebody's cracking jokes about your monastery on fire.
Yeah, block 7, and then I'm going to play the Rage sideways. That gives me block 8, so he's totally blocked. So I play Concentration, I play the Improvisation. I do have to discard a card. Definitely not discarding Steady Tempo. I'm going to discard the Emerald Ring because I really just don't need green right now. So I played Concentration, got the stronger effect of Improvisation. I still have to discard a card. That's block 7. Rage gives me block 9. So Manticore's blocked. He runs away. And now I just need 3 points of physical attack, or 6 points of physical attack, or 3 points of elemental attack. I'm going to power up Flame Wall and destroy the Elementalist. All right. I get 4 fame out of that. 1, 2, 3, 4. I already lost my reputation. I'm going to get a white. I'm going to clean up my play area, actually take my reward this time because, you know, sometimes that helps. Horn of Wrath, thank you very much. The other one was Mysterious Box, which, again, I don't love because it's just thinky, but it's actually a really cool card. I just don't like the extra layer of, like, I really need to, like, have one other thing I need to remember how to do right. But total, the Horn of Wrath is a really nice, that's the kind of game changer card that I was looking for, to be quite honest. All right, so that's going to go there. So I'm going to pull up to 6, 3, 4, sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have a ton of siege attack. Oh man, now I'm debating if I've used both my units, but I mean there is an argument to try to enter the Hidden Valley this turn and make some headway. I think I got rid of all my wounds, thanks to spending influence in the monastery. Unless I just try to get around to that village. Alright, Goldix, what are you doing? We got a blue, we got a white, we got a red, one more. Oh, shoot. Alright, so he's clearing it around, so yeah, forget. I guess we are not doing that. So I need 10 points of movement to get to that swamp, and it's really kind of my goal because I do want to kill that Cloud Griffin this turn. I'm going to take 2 blues with my skill, and I'm going to power Druidic Paths, which gives me a move 4. The cost of 1 terrain type is reduced by 1, and I'm going to play Steady Tempo, so that gives me move 8, and I will play Tranquility just to draw a card. Cool, that's move 10. What the? You okay?
Yeah.
So I'm moving to this swamp. I have more than enough movement to do just that. So I have this Cloud Griffin. I'm going to power it. So it would be 8 range attack to kill it. Or I have enough. That's fine. I'm going to play Crushing Bolt to get a green crystal. And I'm going to power the Savage Monks. That gives me Siege. So basically, it has Swiftness, so it's a Cloud Griffin. So it has 4 physical attack, but it has Swiftness. So it would be 8 points of block to block it, or I just smash it. It's elusive, so it's 8 points of attack to defeat it in a ranged or siege attack phase, or it'd be 4 points of attack if I blocked it in the melee phase. But if I don't block it, it's still the 8. So I'm just going to take care of it in the siege attack phase. So I play Savage Monks. I got the green from the Crushing Bolt. I powered the Savage Monks, and now I'm playing Horn of Wrath. I have to roll a die. If it's black or red, I take a wound. Of course, it's black. Give me a wound. And that's still enough points of damage to defeat the Cloud Griffin. That gives me 3 fame. Another one of the Elementalist tokens. That allows me to throw a wound away from my hand. That is nice. He goes here. My turn ends. I will level up. I'm putting Steady Tempo back on top of my deck, which is perfect. I got another Reputation before I forget. Horn of Wrath, and all of this goes in my discard pile, and this can go here. Let me do my level up. I get, this lets me spend a mana to throw out a wound, and then I can draw an extra card. It's not that awesome, and this is just an influence card. Kind of both of them are a little bit crap for what I'm looking for. What are my skills? I think I take Force of Nature, right? Into the Heat's interesting. I don't think my units are good enough to really justify it. But the problem is if I take one of Goldix's skills, then I have to take Pathfinding. So I guess I take that card. Great. So I took, it is called Regenerate. Once a turn, pay a mana of any color, throw away a wound from your hand. If you use green or you have the least fame, you get to draw a card as well. In a solo game, you always have the least fame. So I'm going to take, I'm tempted to take Into the Heat. So Into the Heat's interesting. So you pay a card at the start of your turn. As part of Start of Combat, all your units get their attack and block values increased by 2, but you can't assign damage to units. So what that often means is that in an assault, you take all the wounds to your hand, and then you get knocked out, but then your units are still available in the melee phase, and +2 to their attacks. I mean, all of a sudden, now this guy's attack becomes attack 8, that's attack 4, that's attack 5. That might actually be stronger than Force of Nature. Why not? Why not? I'll take it to the heat. Let's go crazy. So that's gonna go there. This goes there, and we are good. All right. Goldix declares end of round. I never drew my hand. This is my hand. So now, how much movement do I have? I have move 4. Ooh, I don't have a blue. Come on. Move 4. That's so. Can I get 10 is the question. Nope. Or I could use that blue to get me closer to 10. I can use this too. I might want that later though. To get around some of the monsters. Right, because there's going to be a dragon in my face right there. I'm actually probably going to have to kill that dragon. Shoot. Can I get 7 movement? And my source is garbage. I can get 7 movement. Alright, I'm going to spend a mana of any type. I'm going to spend this white mana from the source. I get to throw away this one and draw a card, but my D deck is empty, so that's fine. I'm going to play Steady Tempo. I'm going to play Rage. I'm not going to use any of my crystals. And I get to use Shapeshift, so now it's move 4, 5, 6, 7. So they gave me 5, and then I'm going to put out the non-Necropolis thing there. It is the Necropolis again, and it's the White City. So the White City goes here. Again, it's a friendly city, so we're going to put one of Goldix's shields there as well as one of mine. And again, we can recruit anyone there because it's the White City, so the normal White City powers apply. And when I'm adjacent to the White City, if I ever am, we will also get a +1 card draw because I have a shield on it. There's going to be a keep token here. Oh, that's actually nice because then I could potentially have another route to get into the Necropolis because there's going to be a couple of dragons right in my face there. And now this is on the southern part of the board, so it will get a Elementalist dragon. Again, I'm going to have to fix all of this in between rounds. So now the Necropolis remains the last tile there, which is fine. I'm going to clean up my play area. Goldix already declared end of round, and now I need to defeat the Elemental leader in the day and the Dark Crusader leader at the night. That is our mission if we choose to accept it. I will accept it. All right. We are going to take these suckers off the board before we do anything else. This is also kind of useless. I'm going to remove that. And we will have just these 3 tiles, and we know the Necropolis is going to go there, so I'll just put it face down until I explore it, just to keep this thing orderly as possible. All right, I feel about 20% confident right now. Could be worse. We're going to go here. These are coming up. We're getting rid of all 4 of these suckers. Oh, there's only 3 now because I burned down a monastery. Before I forget that, Goldix gets another green. That's not good. I'm going to put 3 here. Blood Ritual, Ice Bolt, Blood of Ancients, and then we get Rush of Adrenaline. Goldix is also getting another green crystal, which is also not good. So we're going to need to get a little bit lucky here. Otherwise, these rounds might be a lot shorter than I ever wanted that would be. The only thing I take solace in right now is that I know I still have Squaring Power available to me for the 3rd night. Right, so elite units, we're going to have sorcerers, we're going to have some magic familiars, and we're going to have some heroes. You want to be a hero?
Okay, did you start with this any level ups? Somebody missed the beginning and is wondering.
Did I start?
Here, read the question and then you can answer it.
Do you start with some level ups? I don't know exactly what you're asking. I mean, I'm just playing at. I mean, you start a solo conquest, and then I'm just playing against the level 6. Both the faction leaders are set at level 6, and as soon as I start sieging, I guess it's an assault. It does actually with heroes. I looked up to see if this was an assault that triggered the heroes. You need to spend 2 influence. It is a kind of assault. So yeah, if you had the heroes, you would need to spend 2 influence. So that's a total tangent. But yeah, so I'm facing against the level 6 faction leaders, and we'll kind of see how that plays out. All right, I need to shuffle Goldix's deck. I think I got rid of all my ones, so that makes me a little happy. All right, do I have any wounds in here? Nope, nope, nope. All right, good, good, good. That's fine. This is going to go here. My units are okay, considering they're regular units and not elite. I still feel pretty strong about their abilities. I'm going to have to draw up to... I need to reroll the dice in the source. A gold, a white, and a blue. That is a very nice roll. And we will draw up to 6 cards. Oh, Horn of Wrath off the top. Threaten, Promise, Plummet the Land, and Concentration, and Rage. Not amazing. I definitely need movement to get here because I want to start pillaging some stuff. It's kind of my goal right now. So day tactics, there are 2 left: the right moment and rethink. Clearly I am taking rethink, so I will be first. When I take this tactic, I can discard up to 3 cards. I will discard Promise and Threaten because they're garbage for what I'm looking for. I'm going to draw 2 more cards. And then movement, thank you very much. And then we shuffle those 2 cards back in the deck. All right, bing. And that's gonna go there. Done. I'm first. So I am. So I need movement 5 to get into here. I wish I had like the Druidic paths, because then I would get that extra little bonus of it would only cost me 4 to get in there. It's a really nice card, but I don't. So I'm gonna spend March. There, none of this is great. So I'm gonna do March. I'm gonna power it with the gold in the source. I have enough crystals that I'm not that worried about spending the gold, and then I'm gonna end up in the village, right? So I'm going to end my turn. I roll that. It's white. I'm going to draw up to... Did I have... Yeah, I had enough cards. I'm going to draw up to 6, 5. There's Druidic Pass. Oh, there's all the movement. I'm pillaging the village. I'm going to get 2 more cards. Tranquility and Rage. Goldix is going to go. Don't be green. It's a blue. Don't be green. Don't be green. There we go. It's red. Nice. There's a green. We're good. So, my turn. I will probably just chill for another turn or 2 so I can keep... this would reveal because I'm adjacent to it. I'm going to play... You are going to need to move 2 like normal. I don't have a ton of my attack cards. I'm going to play move 2 so we can get this tile on the board. Yeah, it's a dragon in my face. That's where this movement can come in handy later, where I can move around it. The problem is I got that keep right in my way too. I'm in a pickle. Alright, we'll have to figure that out later. So yeah, we get a dragon. It is... This was the middle, so that's definitely the northern side. So we get a Dark Crusader dragon there. It is a Vampiric dragon. Dark Crusader dragon there. It is another Vampiric dragon. We are going to get the Necropolis here. We're going to get another Ruins. It's going to be face up because we're day. Actually, speaking of which, this should be revealed. Oh, I should have added the garrison for the Hidden Valley when that got revealed. So this is all face up. So we got a Crystal Sprite. We got a Elven Protector. Oh, they both have shield, which is super annoying. We have a Lightning Dragon, and we have a Wind Elemental, I believe is the name of it. It just looks like a whirlwind. Air Elemental. And then the Necropolis is going to have, again, it's a level 6. So when you're placing out the enemy tokens for the faction leaders, you just look at the level you're facing against. You can ignore every other token around the edge of this tile. This tile's got a lot going on with it. So we're like, all right, level 6. What's level 6? Well, we know that the faction leader, if he's at level 6 at the beginning of that combat, he's attacking with 2 fire attack 5s, and he has armor 4, and he's got fire resistance. what are the tokens that he's with? He's with 2 orcs, 1 enemy, 1 monster, and 1 dragon. So you're going to take the tokens that match his faction, and then you'll put them on just like it did. Same over here. It's actually the same breakdown of tokens, level 6. The Dark Crusader faction leader is going to be attacking with assassin and paralyze. He's attacking with a 6. His armor's 4. So we're going to set up his little guys. He's going to have it's a Death Dragon. It's a Demon the Song. That's a brutal combo. And because we're out of tokens for the 2 orcs that should be there, we just need to reshuffle the orcs that we've already defeated. If you ever ran out of orcs, you just take normal orcs. So I would just take the orcs from the original game, and I would just sub them in. Right, so we're going to take these 2 orcs, and we have a zombies and a gibbering ghoul. That's what's awaiting us over in that little house party over there. I don't think it makes sense for me to do anything else right now. Yeah, we're just going to end our turn. We're going to pillage the village and get 2 more cards. 1 and 2. These are not the cards of dreams. I need Flame Wave is going to be a little bit limited against this crowd because, again, the elemental faction leader has fire resistance, but it could still definitely come in handy. So Goldix is going to go green. White, don't be green. It's red. Okay. Remember, he has 20 cards. He's gone through 8, so he has 12 cards left. But if I pull the green off, he's going through 7 in 1 turn. So I think I'm going to give it one more shot. I'm going to play Crystallize. I'm going to power it with the blue. I'm going to take a crystal of any color. I will take a red. I'm going to roll. Yeah, I'm going to roll this. It's a gold, and I'm pillaging the village. I'm getting 2 more cards, mana draw, and swiftness, and this is going to have to do. We shall see what happens in the next turn. Get that. Next 10. All right, Goldix is going to go. It is a blue, it is a white, it's a red. So he has 8 cards remaining. So we're guaranteed at least 4 more turns. Or 3 more turns. 4 more turns. 3 more turns. 3 more turns. Guaranteed, at least. We could get super lucky. No, I think we're at 3 pretty much no matter what I pull off. Unless I pulled off white, and then we could get maybe 4. Alright, my turn. We are going to enter. So before I enter, I'm gonna play Tranquility. I'm gonna power it with one of my greens, and I draw 2 more cards. Into the Heat. Oh, that's nice. An Emerald Ring. I'm going to play Emerald Ring. I get a green crystal and a green mana token and 1 fame. Green crystal, green mana token. I already got the fame. I'm going to flip this and take a blue and a red. And that's all we got. Let's do it. I'm going to spend. I think of the most useless cards in my hand. Well, Druidic Pass is fine. So I'm going to spend Druidic Pass to move 2. I am now in this little party situation. Great. So I'm going to move this up. Move these cards down here before I forget they exist. Let's move them over on the fame board before I forget they exist. And this looks fairly centered. Right. So these are the 4 units that are in the Hidden Valley, and that's where I am. So Crystal Sprites have 2 separate attacks of Ice Attack 1. The problem is they also have Shield. What Shield means is that the first token that you attack, and there's another enemy in that garrison that has Shield, that enemy gets plus whatever the shield is, right? So the Crystal Sprites have shield 1. If I were to attack the Air Elemental, that shield, they would now, instead of their elusive armor being 8 and their non-elusive armor, if you had blocked it, being 4, both of those values are +1. Problem is right now is I have 2 enemies that have shield, so I'm gonna have to defeat at least 2 of these guys to get rid of this shield, so I don't have to worry about it. Because the shield, if the first enemy I attacked was the faction leader gets the benefit of the shield. When you're attacking multiple enemies, since they too have shield, the shield values they can't be stacked against one enemy. You have to apply the shield to at least 2 different enemies, or two different enemies, exactly 2 different enemies. So there's a lot going on with the shield that we're gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do about that. The crystal sprites also, they're ice resistant. They have the shield 1. They're also elusive. So if I was going to attack them first, now I can apply the shield of an enemy to itself. This would be range attack 3, and it would just be destroyed. Again, 2 because of the elusive value, and then plus the 1 for the shield. The other problem, though, is you have the Elven Protector. They also have shield. Their shield is shield 2. So I'm going to have to apply shield 2 to the first enemy I attack, or 1, and then the other value to the second enemy I attack. We have the Lightning Dragon. They have elusive. They're immune to both fire and ice. They have 14 shield, 14 armor if they're not blocked, and 7 armor if they are blocked, but they're doing a cold fire attack 6. And then the Air Elemental has swiftness, doing a cold fire attack 3, so you need 12 points of physical block to block them. They also have elusive, and they are immune to both the elements as well. So this is not what I would call ideal. There's a lot going on. Garbage. I'm tempted to burn the Horn of Wrath. Because if I can play into the heat and get the +3, I wipe both of them out in the range or siege attack phase. Then I ignore other wounds. I have a chance to not get knocked out, and the whole goal right now is 24 points of damage on the faction leader. So I'll try to explain how this works so it makes more sense later. So the faction leader's armor is 4, but he's fire resistant, so we got to remember that. If I do 4 damage to the faction leader, I will just cover it over with a shield. So if I do 4 damage in the range of siege attack phase, if I do it multiple times, I can knock him down multiple levels, and I will get 3 fame at the end of the round for each level that I've defeated the faction leader. If I can somehow do 24 points of damage in the range or siege attack phase, the faction leader won't even attack. But you got to remember, the faction leader is arcane immune, and if I don't defeat other enemies first, he will get this extra shield. So that extra shield, instead of having 4 armor every time, he's going to have 5 or 6, depending on which shield I'm applying to him, right? So that's super annoying. At the end of the combat, that's when the faction leader moves down. So even if I defeat him twice, I don't now then attack him at the new level. He always attacks at the level that he starts the combat with. The only exception is if you actually wipe him out entirely and you defeat him and he has shields all the way up to that red line, then he just doesn't attack at all. One of the things I like to do strategically is my first time I attack the elemental faction leader, I want to get at least 2 levels knocked down, because then he becomes a lot easier to deal with. If you only do 1, his next attack is super annoying, and if you don't block 3 different elemental blocks, now all of a sudden he's got 6 because he's elusive, and it's super hard to do. So I like to knock off 2 and then knock off the last 4, or if I find a way I can do all of them, then I do all of them. That's fine. You can group the faction leader along with other tokens just as much, and the normal rules apply that immune resistances and stuff still kind of crossover to all enemies. This is something. So look, I'm not gonna really be messing with trying to block that crystal sprite twice. I mean, it's just not worth the effort. So I'm just going to power swiftness with a white from the source, and that's range attack 3. I believe I think I can apply the shield. Never mind. This actually doesn't come up that often when you get both of these suckers. I think I can apply the shield to him, wipe him out, and then his shield just goes away, and that'd actually be super strong. As long as I attack someone else. Where are we at? Defend. You decide to give one of the protectors. Yes, that's cool. I'm actually going to give the bonus of 2 to the Crystal Sprite. So let me take that die back. Do I need greens for anything else? No. I'm going to actually use the Siege Attack 4 from the Savage Monks using one of this green mana token. And I'm going to apply the 2 shield to the Crystal Sprite. And then this guy is destroyed. Now, since the Crystal Sprite is destroyed, I don't that attack of 1, his shield doesn't apply to anybody else, and I've already dealt with the Elven shield as it is, so we're totally good there. And I think I got an outside chance to get 24 attack this turn because that could be 16. And I think if I can wipe this guy out this turn, I just do it. I just do it. All units. I play Into the Heat. Oh, that's super interesting. That might be a waste of that, actually. Let's think this through. I'm doing Into the Heat, empowering it with the red here. All my units get their attack and block values increased by 3, but I cannot assign damage to them. That's fine. I don't think I'm going to need to. Now, I'm going to use Concentration. And I'm going to power Swiftness. So I play Swiftness, I get the stronger effect +3. I'm going to apply the +1 shield of the sprites to the Elven Protectors and defeat the Elven Protectors. And that's fine. That's better. And now all of these attack and block values are +3, which is kind of bananas. Let me figure out the wounds, and then I'm going to figure out how I'm going to get 24 damage. And I think I'm taking out this faction leader this turn. And I might have to trash the Horn of Wrath to do it, but that's totally fine. Yeah, there's a lot more going on in this playthrough than normal. All right, the Air Elemental is going to do 1 damage, 1 wound, and again, I have to take all of these. The Crystal Sprite does 2, and the Lightning Dragon does 2. Remember, the Horn of Wrath, when the Siege attack, the problem is any wound I take from that will also be added to my hand. And if I get 6 wounds to my hand, I'm knocked out no matter what I have left in my hand after that, right? So that's a thing. I'm going to take, if I don't block the faction leader, he's going to come in at 4 wounds because he's doing 2 fire attacks, 5. Siege attack 17. Single card. 21. I can get siege attack 17, because remember that's +3. If I can get siege attack 24, I just knock out the faction leader and just be done with it. The problem is the closest I can get is I get the siege attack 20. I can get the siege attack, this is gross. I can get the siege attack 23 if I played some things differently. And remember, I've already taken care of the Crystal Sprite's shield, so we're totally good there. I block those 2. Because there's a chance I'm going to get knocked out. I think this is what I do. I block. And remember, at the end of this, I'll be able to throw away up to 4 wounds, depending on how many enemies I defeated, and that includes the faction leader. So I'm going to block the Crystal Sprite altogether. It's not defeated, it's just blocked. I don't need either of those rages to do what I need to do, because remember, I'm going to have 7 plus, all their values are increased by 3. So I can get up to 9 plus 5 is 14 plus 7. I can get 21 attack just from my 3 units, and I just can't assign wounds to them, which is fine. I'm going to play the Horn of Wrath. There's no need to waste this whole thing. I want to have this for the Dark Crusader leader, so I'm going to roll. I'm just going to get the Siege attack 5 from this. And what I can do with the Siege attack 5 is I can destroy the Crystal Sprite. Oh, the Crystal Sprite hasn't been blocked yet. Right, so her 2 is still applying. I can use, it's a little not efficient, but one attack on a single card becomes a ranged attack. Don't know if that would include cards played sideways or not. Oh, but I have this. Oh, this is bananas. All right, I'm going to power one with the land to give me an attack. I'll just give me an attack 2. I'll just use a regular, and then I'm going to use Shapeshift, and now I'm going to use that one attack. Since that's now an attack 2, I'm going to use this Ghostly Elixir, and that gives me a ranged attack of 2 with that. I'm going to combine it with the Horn of Wrath. I'm rolling a die. It's black, so of course I take a wound, but that gives me a siege and range attack 7. That's going to be enough to... So I still have the 2 rages in my hand. That's siege and range attack 7. Oh wait, could have done. I'm gonna do that. I might as well just do this. This is siege attack 9 by doing this. And I just don't even worry about the Crystal Sprite. Crystal Sprite is 2 wounds. I'm gonna probably get knocked out anyway, but I'm kind of okay with that. Yeah, so I just made that. That's siege and range attack 9, which gives me... I think I do the advanced math here now. I power this, that gives me 16. So siege and range attack 16. Now I can't add a wound to it. So it's siege attack 4, but it's +3 because of Into the Heat, right? So 16 is going to allow me to wipe out the Crystal Sprite and do 3 levels of damage, and then it'd be 9 + 5 is 14. That's all the damage I need. Yeah, we're good. So I'm going to wipe out the Crystal Sprite. So, and I just did it in the siege and range attack phase, so it would be 2. So I have 12. So it's 5 + 4 + 7 is 16. So I have 14 points of damage left. I'm just going to wipe out the first 3 levels of the elemental leader, of the elemental faction leader. Right, so he's still going to attack me. I'm still going to get knocked out, but this is still going to make some more sense. I'm going to try to block. That would be a 6 to block. I only need 12 points of attack in the attack phase. So I have it there and there. Can I actually block one of these guys? Probably not. Probably not. I can get a move 4. Turn that into a block with 1 with the land. 6. That could work. All right, I'm going to power move with the 1 with the land, and this is weird. So 1 with the land is you get a block equal to the unmodified move cost, or you get move of your land. So in the Hidden Valley and the Necropolis both have a move cost of 2. So I could like get a block of 2, but because I have Shapeshifts, which I didn't use now, I'm actually going to get a block of 4 because I'm going to turn the move into block. So that's a block 4, and then I'm going to use this for block 6, and that actually blocks the air elemental. So I might be able to wipe him out in the melee phase, but the rest of it there's no chance. But I'm fine with that. So now we go. So let's kind of replay that. So I got 16 points of range to siege attack. I turned the rage into range attack 4. I had the Horn of Wrath, which is siege attack 5, and then I had the Savage Monks, which gives me a siege attack 7 because of Into the Heat. I'm now going to have to take all the wounds to my hand. That's a total of 6 wounds, 2 from the Lightning Dragon and 4 from the Elemental Faction Leader. That does knock me out. What happens when I get knocked out? These 2 cards in my hand I have to get rid of, and they go to my discard pile. All the wounds remain. We're going to go to the melee phase. Just because I'm knocked out doesn't mean my units are. They're actually emboldened because they saw what happened to me. They are going to now attack. They are... This guy's alive. This guy's alive. These 2 are dead. They're attacking. I'm going to wound the Utham Swordsman to give me an attack of 9 because it's 6 plus the into the heat. And then I'm going to use the Peasants for an attack of 5 because it's 2 plus into the heat. So that's an attack of 14. I have no more attacks. Oh, it's just shy. I was hoping I could actually get another 2 and wipe out this guy, but that's not going to work. But I get 3 more shields. I have just defeated the faction leader for the Elementalist. I remain on the Hidden Valley at the end of my turn. These guys just go away because their leader is dead, so they are lost without him. And now I can do my end of turn sequence. I'm going to get 3 fame for these 2. I'm going to get 18 fame because I defeated all 6 levels of the faction leader. So that's 21 fame. These will come down. Just put these on my discard pile. The 21 fame gets me from 36 to 57. That's going to be a level up. And then I'm going to use this skill, which is Vampiric Chalice. After this turn, for each enemy you defeated, you may discard a wound to a maximum of 4. I defeated 3 enemies, the faction leader and then these 2 guys. So that is 3 wounds, and I'm going to get rid of this. And I'm also going to get 2 of these because they both have that symbol. So the one allows me to add cold to ice to an attack or a block. The other one allows me to switch out my skill for another skill in the skill offer. Right? I am knocked out, so I don't think I can use skills or anything like that. I might be able to. I'll just do it next turn too. That's fine. So this is going to go here. I do end my turn in a magical glade because the Hidden Valley acts like a magical glade when it is liberated. So that's fine. That goes here. These all go away. I still have the Horn of Wrath available to me for the next round. Into the Heat came through huge. And Shapeshift can go there. I'm going to reroll the gold die. It is white. Bunch of white in the source. And somehow I only ended up with 3 wounds in my hand. So that was nice. I'm going to need to figure out what the heck I'm doing with the rest of this turn. I think if I move in there, I can use this. Actually, I think I'm gonna need to defeat that dragon at some point. I might be able to do it this turn. We'll see. So I'm gonna draw up to my hand limit, which is 6 still. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Goldix goes. He gets a green. He gets a green. He gets a blue. So 2 more. My turn. I'm going to use this skill. I'm going to spend a white from the source to throw out a wound. And because I have the least fame, I can draw another card. And I'm going to move 5 to get me into yeah, I think that makes some sense. I'm going to move 5 to get me into that village. And maybe I can kill that dragon this turn, which would really help me next turn. For sure. Alright, so then this goes away. This skill is reset. I re-roll this. It's black. I draw. Oh, steady tempo goes on the bottom of my deck. So I take move 5. I use improvisation. I discard a determination. And now I have this. Block 7, 8. Oh, I'm not gonna have enough attack. Could get that keep though. Could get the keep. I don't have my name on my heal cards. I do want to heal this. It's fine. I still have this, which allows me to heal a card. I could have put a card at the bottom of my deck with that, and then drew +1, but that's probably smarter for next turn, especially if I have a dragon to kill to start the round. Goldix is going to go. He's going to go 1, 2, and 3. It's white. He's going to declare end of round next turn. My turn. I'm going to spend a mana to discard a. No, does that even make sense? I won't draw a card. Nope. Nope. Units. will not have. Ooh, I could get influence 9. Yeah, why not? Oh, I like that. So I'm going to spend 2 for Threaten. My influence, even though I pillage a village a bunch, it's only at a 0. So 2 for Threaten. And I'm going to discard Steady Tempo. So that's 3 influence. And then I'm going to discard this guy and this guy to get influence 9. And I get me some heroes, which I can recruit at the village that I'm in. Alright. These come here. I didn't use a die, so yeah, I'll use this because I didn't use this skill otherwise, and I'll get rid of a wound. I have no more cards to draw, so that goes there. It's gold. Goldix declares end of round. I'm wondering now, since this is not an assault, I'm wondering if I can kill that dude. I think I can. Yes. So we're going to take on the dragon from where I'm at. I'm going to do Cold Fire block 8. It's a vampiric dragon. It's attacking with a physical attack 8. Again, the vampiric just means that if you take a wound, it's strengthened. And then I'm going to play Flame Wall. I'm going to power it with this red, and then I'm going to power Crushing Bolt with this green. And since I blocked the vampiric dragon, the elusive, its armor goes from 16 down to 8. So now he's dead. I get 2 reputation back, and I'm going to get another one of these, and I'm going to get 7 fame, which gets me up to 64, which means I level up. So that was a really nice sequence. Again, using these tokens for influence is it's really where I started to turn the corner with this scenario. All right, so he's dead. Goldix has already declared end of round. That is fine with me. I do level up, so I'm going to take the next 2. Ooh, that's an interesting one. So this one here gives you a Cold Fire range attack on 3 different tokens, and you can't stack them, so it has to be 3 different tokens. This one gives you -1 to 1 enemy attack, and you also give that enemy cumbersome. It can come really in handy. Now, again, it doesn't work against the faction leader because he has arcane immunity, but you can do it 2 turns in a row, and it's become a favorite of mine, especially with some of these. They have arcane immunity. Oh man, there's some gross things going on with those tokens. So I don't. The Cold Fire attack on 3 different enemies though could stack up really nice, but mostly I'm just trying to kill the faction leader at this point. So I'll take the one. It is called Nature's Vengeance. It is a cooperative skill. And then I get to take a card from the source. I will take Force of Nature because I will definitely need some block. Rush of Adrenaline is probably not going to be that useful. At least not as useful as Force of Nature. All right, I will shuffle up. That goes away. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, Tesla's intense. I mean, this is definitely not for someone new to Mage Knight. I don't know what I would have thought about Tezla if I played it my first turn. I meant the hero. It's a hero at any level from the start, but given this is D3.
That was way back when.
Oh, cool.
They were asking if you started with level ups, remember?
Started this level 1. Yeah, I'll have to look into it. I read the rule pretty thoroughly, but I've been doing so many test plays. I'll definitely look at the level thing again after this playthrough, get a little bit more idea what you guys are talking about. So Goldix gets Diplomacy, so he should have a full deck of 21 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. These come down. He gets a blue crystal in his inventory. And we're going to replace that with Charm. And we're going to get 3 new advanced actions. This is going to go here. Never did get Snowstorm. And we're going to get the 3 new advanced actions are Pure Magic, Training, and Spellforge. That's fine. And the new advanced action in the offer is Mountain Lore. Alright, we're going to get the Magic Familiars. We'll go here. The Sorcerers are going to go here. The new Sorcerer is going to be the Amulet of Gunners. Love them. the Guardian Golems, and the Delphana Masters.
Comment. Is that relevant to what you're doing right now?
I could have used a skill. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I didn't want to waste it. If it was taping it, yeah, so I could have, in theory, used that skill and gotten rid of another wound. I thought that was the case, but I'd rather err on the side of caution. But yeah, I appreciate that. I don't get knocked out very often, despite how many wounds I really like to take. We got a red, we got a green, and we got a black. So I feel really strong about where we're at now. Being able to defeat that dragon and get myself a path to that leader was super important. It might actually make some sense to pillage that, to take care of that keep, just to get 2 additional cards in my starting hand. But I'm on a village, so I guess I could just pillage that a couple of times before I go in for the kill. It's only 3 movement to go across that sands, so that was a really nice sequence at the end of that last round. Oh, and plus I'm going to have my favorite, Spare and Power. So we're going to draw up to 6, and then before my first turn, I'm going to pillage the village. So I'm going to actually get 8. Once I get Swiftness, a wound, Rage, Crushing Bolt. I think it's my only wound. Crushing Bolt. 6, Force of Nature into the Heat. Yeah, we're pretty golden. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I do want to get one of my healing cards to get myself my Utham Swordsman back. This I could discard at 1 point for 1 point of healing. But that's fine. So Goldix is first because we took 6. So white, green, and green. No! Goldix! Stop it! So he's going through 4 more cards. It's a green, it's a red, it's a white, it's a green. So he hit a bunch of greens, which is good. But remember, he's now down to 14 cards. So this could be a much shorter round than is ideal. So I'm going to do my Sparing Power. I'm going to use this skill, because why not, just to throw... I've moved 2 from that. I'm going to pay the... Yeah, I'm going to be able to get a ton of greens. I'm going to pay the green mana to throw this card away, and that lets me draw a card. And I really want the Emerald Ring. I use a skill. I do have to dump a card. Gonna dump March because the rest of the cards make too much sense. So I have to like rest. The skill doesn't count as actually like playing a turn, so I can't just like do nothing. So in my turn, I'm just playing this card. I'm resting. I have no wounds to throw away because I just got rid of that one. So I rolled a blue, and then I'm going to pillage the village and get 2 more cards. 1 and 2. Goldix's turn. He gets Diplomacy, which is a white. He gets a green, and he gets a white. He has no white, so he's gone through 10 cards. He has 21 left, or 21. He has 11 left. I'm going to Spare Power, so that we know that my ring might actually be in there. I really do want to heal 2. I have Horn of Wrath. I mean, yeah, I really should be able to do this stupid easily. If I can get the ring, I will literally have Siege Attack 20 without even doing anything else, which is bananas. I'm going to throw away... Really not blocking too much here. So I'm just going to get rid of this 1 card. I'm going to pillage the village. I'm going to draw 2 more. Improvisation and Threaten. Goldix's turn. Determination, Stamina, and Rage. So he's gone through 14 cards. He has 7 left. So if it is green, we are down to our last turn. So I'm not going to mess around with this too much more. Sparing Power going away. Please have my Emerald Ring. It is not my Emerald Ring. That's fine. The unlimited green would make this so much easier. Problem is I have no other way of drawing cards except for staying here and pillaging. I'm going to play Crystallize to get a green. And we're going to re-roll this. And I'm going to pillage the village and just give it 1 more shot to get that Emerald Ring. Nope. Goldix. blue, white, and white. All right, so yeah, we have to move. I'm gonna flip this, get a green and a blue mana. I'm gonna use the green to power Tranquility. I really want that Emerald Ring. 1 and 2. No dice. I did get Flame Wall though. Oh, man, I'm gonna be a little shy. Could heal. Mana draw. That's fine. Alright. Well, here goes nothing. So we're gonna play Steady Tempo. That gives me move 2. Do I have? Yeah, I'm gonna put the influence card here because I know I'm gonna have to pay 2 influence for the heroes because they want to take part in this attack otherwise, but clearly their morals can't be that much because they're so easily bribed. So Steady Tempo is move 2. I'm going to discard this, the Staff of Concealment, to get me move 4. And now I need, oh actually, I'll play Druidic Pass. It gives me move 2, plus the cost of move of 1 space is reduced by 1, so that gets me into the, it's only 3 to get into the desert. Now it's 2 because of Druidic Pass, and then I'm going to use Staff of Concealment, and now I am entering the Necropolis. Alright, let me move that guy out. We're going to move this guy in. I still have a blue from the skill that I used. Oh, there should be another one of Goldix's skills here, which I didn't take. That's fine. There actually should be 2 more. That's super fine. All right, so I'm in the Necropolis. We're doing a level 6 faction leader. So he's attacking me with 6 with Paralyze. So, and it's Assassin, so I clearly will want to block him. The Vampiric Dragon is attacking me with a 7 with Paralyze, so I will clearly want to block him. The Demon de Song is attacking me with 6 with Assassin and Brutal, so that's no bueno. And then we have the zombies, and we have the Gibbering Ghouls. I'm going to break the Horn of Wrath. I'm going to roll the die 4 times, and I'm going to take care of the Vampiric Dragon. All right, so siege attack 5. You can add +1 per roll, and you if you roll a black or a red, you get a wound. So I've rolled the black and a red. The first 2 times I did this when I was only using the siege attack 5. Let's hope I do not roll black or red 4 times in a row here. So the first roll is a white. Second roll is a white. I'll keep doing that. Third roll is a white. Fourth roll is a white. That's amazing. It's great. So that's siege attack 9. The Vampiric Dragon is out. All right. So let me figure out the rest of this. My armor's 4. So if I don't block the Gibbering Ghouls, that's a wound, and he gets Vampiric, so he'd be a 5. If I don't block the zombies at all, they would get 3 wounds on me. And if I don't block the Demon de Song, that's 4 wounds on me. I should be able to block the rest, and I just won't worry about the Demon. I have to block the leader. At the start of combat, I would have played Into the Heat, obviously, with a red. So now all my units have their values up by 3. Gross thing about I need 2 more reds, so I'm going to play Mana Draw. I'm going to power that with a white. I'm going to take a red die from the source. Now I would still have access to this black because this doesn't count as me using a die from the source. It's a separate thing, so I'm going to get 2 reds from that I'll have available to me with this blue. And I guess I could use the move 2 from 1 with the land to eliminate 2 of the zombies' attacks. Because again, they have Cumbersome. I can use... Oh, I'll just actually use Improvisation. Yeah, it's fine. I'll use Improvisation and 1 with the land, and I'll just totally wipe out the zombies' attacks. And so they're good. And I just need block 6. I need block... No, I can actually take all of that. That's fine. I just need a block 6 for the for that dude. I'm going to use the Savage Monks block because I only have 1 green anyway. So that Savage Monk block is increased by 3 because into the heat, and that is enough to block the faction leader. So I'm going to take these 5 wounds into my hand because I really don't care. And now we just need to get 28 damage. I'm going to do 5 attack from the heroes. It's actually 8. I'm going to do 5 attack from the peasants because it's 2 against 5, so that's 13. And then I can play Flame Wall, power that. Since I'm still facing 4 enemies, including the faction leader, that becomes a fire attack, 13. I mean, it's bananas. I mean, I have this. That can give me another 5 attack. We have the rage. That's 4. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. You know, I could have actually used Force of Nature to give all my guys physical resistance. So like the physical resistance, I wouldn't have had to take that wound because that would have just been absorbed by the Savage Monks because they would have had. I could have chosen to have physical resistance. So I mean, for real, like. I'm not even going to do the math, but I'm assuming I would have killed at least a couple more of these, and we get 18 fame from defeating all 6 levels of that unit. Whatever wasn't defeated would go away. We have now conquered the Necropolis. Both faction leaders are defeated, and that is victory. So I'm sure that's not satisfying for somebody that really wanted to see how that all played out, but like literally, I'm looking at so much attack. 8, 13, 26. 31, 35. I'm counting 35 attack, 36. I could have got 37 attack. So I mean, who knows, man? So it is one of the things that makes this scenario a little anticlimactic sometimes when you're like, it's like you kind of wish you almost had to defeat all the enemies. It's like so much like, oh, they're all gone. But now it's like, all right, they defeated the faction leader. We definitely won. And that's cool. So now, again, all the enemies that go away, they're scared. Getting that Horn of Wrath, really burning that monastery made a big difference. That Horn of Wrath, you saw how huge it was to defeat both the faction leaders. And, you know, coming back, I mean, now it's like, you saw how behind schedule I was, but I feel like I could do level 7, level 8, level 9. The units, obviously, you have to, every time you go out, now you have to defeat the faction leader one more time, and their garrison does get a little more fierce, but it's nothing super crazy. You do start getting to like summon abilities for the faction leaders and things like that, but Tesla's cool. It definitely made me rethink about this game in a very, very cool way. So I will hang for a few seconds to see if anyone has some comments in the chat. I know it kind of went a little long, kind of had to figure out some things on the fly. Hasn't been that complicated in my my test runs of this before we started to put this on a live playthrough. But man, chat's been quiet. Did I put everyone to sleep, Sarah? What's going on?
No, it was good for when you were making mistakes.
I stopped making mistakes. That was the thing. Yeah, or who knows? I mean, maybe everyone fell asleep and they stopped correcting my mistake. But yeah, normally my big mistakes in this game, I will forget to get the reputation because I get this token. Like there's one other thing I need to be doing, and so I definitely do forget to do that. And the steady tempo is something that as a advanced action, I don't take full advantage of that. Man, wait till you see my Krang. I did a solo conquest with Krang at 9/11. That's going to be released on the 18th, so check that out. Where I realized that one of his skills I was totally undervaluing and underplaying, and it's awesome. So I'm really like excited about that. Then we're doing a 2-player solo conquest, 2-player full conquest with my friend. I'm going to put the part 1 of that out on the 21st, and then we are going to. What's up, Jonathan? Thanks, dude. We'll 21st we'll have the part 1 of a 2-player full conquest. Playing with Krang and Tovak. My friend Steve joined me for that one, so that came out really. It's a cool playthrough. I think people will appreciate that one. And you know, I'm gonna try to get back to Shades of Tezla, and we'll kind of see where we go from there. But I mean, Mage Knight, having this to throw into the mix really is fun. And look, when you're playing solo, and when I'm not recording this, I might have actually taken the time and figured out who would I kill in the siege phase and whatever. But I mean, ultimately, you guys know by now, I don't care about score all that much. I'm just more about figuring out the achievement what's going on. I did post last night my schedule for October, so anyone interested to see what's coming up, I have a pretty ambitious schedule coming out. I'm going to be doing two videos a week for a while, just because of the way the schedule worked out. I am not available in 2 weeks, so I will be doing a live playthrough next week, which is the first time I'm doing back-to-back live playthroughs. We're going to be finishing off the Return to the Night of the Zealot campaign. I'm going to pick up the thread. I'm going to pick it up with Mark Harrigan. So anyone interested in that, check that out. We're going to the Devourer below, which is a very broken scenario in a lot of ways. Still can be a lot of fun, but we'll get that on the board, on the table. Then I got a top 10 list of the top 10 true solo Arkham investigators. I'm going to have that ready and published on the 14th. So I guess Jonathan's closing out the chat. Thank you guys for showing up, for joining me on this on these journeys, and glad we can get a victory. It looked a little hairy for a second there, and not just talking about my beard. That is it. Till next time, happy gaming.